Halloween.
That's gonna sound fucking terrible.
Hey,
Hey, you know what? We tried.
spooky. We're gonna haunt your ears.
Spooky.
Welcome back to Rewind and Replay, everybody. I'm Matan,
I'm Adrianna.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Josh.
and we're here today for a spooky tabletop role-playing playthrough. Today we're doing Hunt a Witcher Story, which, well, I'm going to kick it over to Merrick to explain it, our DM.
Yeah, hi. My name is Merrick. Hunt a Witcher Story is a game that I designed. It and lots of other fan games are available on my Patreon, patreon.com/onlyonemerrick, presumably linked below me somewhere.
It'll be there.
It is a game in which one player plays as a Witcher from the popular Witcher series and forms a group that is a hunting party to go after a monster that has been terrorizing a village. It is based off of another game, which is called Hunt, that is also available for free on itch.io as well.
Unfortunately, Henry Cavill could not make it to this recording due to scheduling conflicts, but we're going to have to go
Our close
on.
friend was a little too busy.
So let's get started.
Cool. All right. So the first thing, everyone has already selected their characters. If everyone maybe wants to do, actually no, we'll get to intro. We got to set up the scene. So all of you have been, for whatever reason, we'll discover that presently when we move on to the introduction phase. You have taken up the assignment to slay a monster that has been terrorizing the village of. Let me draw. Domino. That's
Randomization.
Cragford.
Is drawing. Cragford.
Which is a small, humble village where small, humble people live small, humble lives. The village's economy is parchment and fish based, so it is probably near a little cove.
I like the idea that it's parchment and fish based, but they're not near a body of water. They just all go really far for
They just hike miles every day.
Yeah,
It makes the fishmonger's job really easy. You just wrap the fish.
In the paper, they have to go to the woods in the forest where there's a lake, but the trip's like a whole day.
right.
Yeah. No, it's near a cove. They regularly send fishermen out onto the little bay that they have. It is, you can see that the village is doing, when you would arrive, you would see the village is doing pretty well for itself, all things considered. Like, it's still, the main thing is there's no roofs that are obviously in need of repair. Nothing is like straight up falling apart. The people are all, they're peasants. They're all like filthy and ill-tempered, but nobody is just straight up like dying in the streets, which is always good. So other than the monster that has, from the notice that you received that their town elder was killed, and they are offering a handsome sum to go and for anyone who can come and slay it.
Cool.
Additionally, to draw and start so you are all going to embark on a trail of hunting this monster. And okay, so
That's a big number.
yes.
It's a 12.
That is, well, it's a 12 and a 0. So
Yeah.
that is that is going to start the trail. And I'm going to note that the village is also you notice that there seem like there are inordinate number of blackbirds in the trees, and I don't know if any of you are ornithologists and would be able to identify what kind they are.
Oh no, yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh, in the game. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like just hanging out in the trees, nestled on rooftops and everything. Nobody seems terribly bothered by their presence, which you do think is a little unusual since blackbirds are generally considered to be of ill omen in most places.
Blackbirds, black cats. It's spooky season.
Yeah. So we're going to go on. So this game takes place in 4 phases: the introduction, the investigation, the showdown, and if everyone lives that long, the epilogue.
Oh,
The
no.
introduction phase is where we're going to be playing first. So, and that is going to consist of everybody basically introducing their character and establishing what stakes in the story they are going to be fighting over. So, if everyone could go to this big black bag over here entitled The Void.
Why are there only 87 in the void? Oh, because you pulled
'Cause I
one. I'm
drew one.
stupid. Don't worry about it.
Quick
Right-click
maths.
that and hit draw 6 times to draw your starting hand of 6 dominoes. So in this game, which uses a domino-based resolution system, you will, on your turn, effectively, you will pick a domino to play if you have one that has a side that matches either end of any domino that is in play, or if one matches the intersection of 2 together. So in this, which I'll get to when that comes up. So in this instance, we have this one, which is a 12 and a 0. So if anybody has a 12 or 0 in their hand, you can play your first
do
domino, and your
indeed.
first domino will come with an introduction of your character. It'll basically be like the camera pans away from the village to wherever you are, however you arrive, or if you're already here, or whatever, or what have you. So does anyone have a 12 or a 0 and an introduction for their character they're ready to describe?
Merrick, you want to go? I mean, not Merrick. Jesus, Matan. Or too many M's. Matan,
I'm
you
the
wanna go
monster.
first?
I ain't here to. I don't.
You want me?
I don't
I'll
get
go,
that
sure,
kind of
I'll go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Let me drag. Let me see. Does that connect? Did I do it right?
Oh yeah. So when you so if you want to hold it and then you can hit the E and Q keys to rotate it while you're holding the domino. So you can rotate it so that the right side.
We're just gonna put it in like a line, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh yeah. In order to rotate it, so at the top right, you'll see a thing that says like rotation degrees. It's like on the end of the drop-down menus. You're gonna want to click that until it says 90, so that you can spin things more effectively.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Okay.
But yeah, you did it. All right.
All right.
So one of the other things is that depending on which side, what the number of the unmatched side is. So in your case, this is a 8. Yeah. If it is
Gotcha.
8 or higher, your character during the introduction is experiencing some kind of moment of fleeting good fortune. If it is
Ooh.
a 7 or lower,
Ooh.
they are encountering a struggle or hardship of some
Ooh.
Oh,
kind
no.
in introduction. So yeah, go ahead with your introduction.
All right. My name is Brevin Zegrin, the dwarven mercenary. Oh, what else?
You can do that the whole game.
Yeah.
In character, I'll always have the I'm sure offensive Scottish
Very good.
accent.
Yeah.
You've committed here.
You made a move.
to see this keep up.
All right, I gotta stick with
Beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
Gotta
You
stick
do
with
now.
this.
Roll with the
You
punches.
have to.
I'm here to seek my fortune slaying this monster.
All right.
Yeah.
So where are you? So you're experiencing some kind of moment of good fortune either when you arrive or if you were already here. Like what is happening with you?
I was at the inn
Mm-hmm.
and I struck up conversation with a human woman, thinking that she was a whore for me to enjoy, like a prostitute for me to engage with for the night. I found out that she wasn't. She actually just liked me.
Wow, what a surprise.
I know.
Shocking.
And you're like, well, the monster hunt can wait
Yes.
a little bit.
And so that was last night for me.
All right. And now if you would, please place your little player token onto that domino that you just put down.
Wow.
So once a person has played their first domino and done their introduction, during this phase, there's no actual turn order. So if you wanted to play another domino, you actually could right now. Every domino you place after your introduction will be one where you establish a stake that you are willing to risk your life for in order to protect. that is threatened by the presence of this monster. So that can be something as sort of simple as like the reward that you want to get from it. It can be like the lives of innocent people or the security of the businesses here. It could be a specific person that you particularly like in the village for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
It could be some other loftier goals of some kind, what have you. Each time you play a domino that establishes such a stake, you're going to use the type tool to write down on the table next to it, like really briefly, what the stake is.
Gotcha.
And after playing a stake, you will draw 2 dominoes from the void.
Ooh.
So
Reward.
the more you are willing to put up to risk, the more options you're going to have going into the rest of the game.
You already
So-
know Brevin risks it for the biscuit, baby.
Fuck yeah. So in terms of like domino trails, we each have like our own branching path from like the middle one? Or
No,
how
you're
does that
all
work?
well. Everyone is going to be playing dominoes onto the existing ones, and we're just going to slowly build an insane trail across the table.
Yeah, but like say Matan placed his stake like
Yeah.
right in front of it, would we put ours after his stake?
If you have a matching one, yeah, you put yours wherever they have an open area to match, basically.
Okay, but we can't match like left and right. It has to be like
Actually, yes, you can match left and right as well. So like where these 2 12s intersect, you can play one going off the side there if you want to. Only
I love
only one that's called like a branch. Only one branch can be played at each intersection, but you may play one at the intersection.
what are the purpose
Alright.
of branches?
In this phase, nothing. In later phases, important stuff. We'll get to
Okay,
it.
got it.
All right, who's
So
up?
yeah, our open numbers are 12, 0, and what is this? 8. Anyone would like to?
I've got an 8, I think, if I can count right.
Wait, do you like the number on the other side of the 8?
You know,
I don't know. what
Odds are good that you don't, but that's just how life is.
but I don't know what a good number that I would like is.
+7.
over 7.
Yeah,
okay.
8 or higher means your introduction has a fleeting moment of good fortune. 7 or lower means you are
Yeah, but
encountering a struggle or hardship of some kind.
That's just for
Odds
the-
are good, it's a struggle or hardship.
Yeah.
So don't fret about it too much. If
Okay,
you have an
now-
introduction, I say go
So
for
if I
it.
have an 8 that matches with Matan's 8, it doesn't matter what the other number is, or the other number has to be higher than 8.
The other
other
number being
number.
higher is
Oh,
what
okay.
affects
Well,
the flavor
I
of the
got
scene.
that.
Oh.
Cool. Oh wait, how do I place this? Okay.
So
Baby's
you're gonna
first time playing tabletop
drag,
simulator.
and then you're gonna hit Q or E to rotate it so that it matches
Oh, went
up.
wrong way.
Oh, do you just have 2 8s?
It's an 8 and a 9.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can tell if
I can't count.
they're different colors, basically.
Big money, Caitlin.
There.
Thank you.
Damn.
Look at that. So go ahead and put your token on there. So you are experiencing a moment of fleeting good fortune, and also since you played one that connects to Matan's, that means that your introductory scene either comes into his or is related to it in some capacity.
Okay.
She was the girl at the bar.
I was gonna say that.
OMG, I love it. I ship
Not
it.
necessarily.
Matan, mine's so much bigger than yours.
Wow.
He's a dwarf.
Nice.
Oh! Damn the accuracy.
All right. My name is Arella Hylan. I am a knight errant. I've had tons of glory. I'm this great
Wow.
knight that everyone loves. I've come here to fight this monster, take it down, get some more glory because everyone loves me and I love glory.
Okay, Zuko, chill.
Yeah, no, I love glory. Leave me alone. I want all the glory in the world, everyone to love me. My good fortune is I was in this tavern and I was just messing around with this dwarf and talking to him, and he actually liked me back, and here we are, and it was a good fortune, and
Yep.
he likes me, and everyone loves me, and I want glory.
All right. Got it. Very cool. All right. So
I
yeah,
love
so
that.
both of you have been introduced again. If anyone else has matching dominoes to play, you can play your introduction domino now. Or both of you who have already gone, at any time you can play dominoes to establish stakes onto the trail as well. You do not have to wait for everybody to have been introduced. And in fact, maybe you shouldn't, because they might cock block you by matching a domino that you're going to do.
I
Well,
wanna
speaking
play a
of,
stake.
I think
I
I'm
wanna
also
play-
going in.
Well, Caitlin
And I
got
do.
there first.
That's true.
Mhm.
Thank you. Wait, this is too far. Okay, hold on. How do I get over here? Okay, I need to see.
Yeah, there we go. Just put it at the little T intersection.
Yeah.
Lower, Caitlin, lower.
Basically. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, does it have to be at the T intersection, or can it connect to one of them?
It has to be
T
at the
intersection.
intersection.
Oh, okay. I thought it could just connect to one
It's
of them.
going out in the middle.
Okay, I see.
All right.
Oh.
So now this domino will establish a stake that
Yeah,
you have, which
My
is
stake is going to be my glorious reputation.
all right. So go ahead and grab the type
Ah.
tool. I would recommend. So if you hold down the right mouse button, you can spin your camera to angle yourself.
Okay,
think.
wait. I kind of put it in a weird
Oh,
spot.
sorry.
Yeah. You want to put it somewhere where we're going to be able to read it in the future.
Okay. Oh. Wait. Let me spin my.
And then just put down glorious reputation. Ideally, also make sure it's your color. Yeah, there you go.
Can I move
Adrianna,
that?
you
I'm
stole
sorry,
that from me.
I did because I don't have very many things left to play unless I want to use my ability this early in the goddamn game.
Mhm.
Can
You
I
don't.
move it, or is it stuck?
No, once you type it, it's stuck there. So.
Is that a good spot for it, or do you want me to move it?
I think make it smaller and closer to the domino.
Oh, can I move it? Oh, I can make it smaller. Okay, hold on. Let me do that then. Oh wait. Oh no.
Yeah.
Girl
This
does
is
not
it's
know how
fun.
to
This is
rotate
other
things.
people can take their turns while you figure.
Yeah, keep going, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, I will go next. And I'm going the other direction, you guys. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Igna Campbelt. I'm a mage. I've recently graduated. I'm noble born. And I'm quite excited for my first hunt. My misfortune, I believe, was that I was traveling in a carriage that unfortunately got waylaid. You know, the little riffraff got killed and whatever, but I made my way to the city just fine.
Excellent.
That's me, that's it.
Yeah. All right. So now is Josh going to finally get to play a thing?
Yeah.
I'm playing a thing.
Ooh.
Oh wait.
The name
do
is
I grab-
Killian.
Sorry, do I grab two once I place?
Yeah. After you place
Oh.
a stake, you draw two from the void.
Cool.
The name is Killian. I'm not the most well-known of witchers. In fact, I wanted it that way. And let's just say if we were talking about my grades in Witcher school, which is totally a thing, it was all Fs.
Witcher Fantasy School.
I'm not a prolific witcher in any sense. I feel bad for anyone who's going to try and help me today.
A real bad boy.
Wow.
Literally.
Do you wear a leather
Real
jacket
sad
and drive
boy.
a motorcycle, a
More
fantasy
like-
motorcycle?
Check it out. Here's the leather. What's up?
Excellent.
The bad thing that has happened is that I
was
have to be
born.
here.
Since you're connecting to Adri's domino, your scene also intersects with hers in some way. So I have concerns about you and your interaction with this carriage.
I probably was picked up off the side of the road. Just oh look, there's a strange looking man. Oh, he's a witcher. Come help us. Fuck it.
Nah,
So
I'm
you weren't
good.
even here on purpose. You didn't know about the
No.
monster. They were just like, "Hey, come on,
Come
help
on.
us."
We're going on a get in nerd.
Get in. We're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
All right, I got a steak.
I'm gonna add another stake too.
Cool.
Hey, let me
So
first.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
go.
you're good. We're not intercepting.
I'm
Okay.
also staking.
This is the right number, right? Yes. I care a lot about what Arella thinks of me.
Aww.
Thank you.
Cute.
Too much.
My stake is the prevention of evil. I hate evil. Evil people can die. Monsters can die.
Oh, so fun thing about playing doubles, they
Oh.
actually, when they get played onto the trail, like the main trail proper, they go sideways like this because people can go both forward and left and right.
Oh,
So they open
so
up more possibilities.
I could then, in theory, go like this.
Yes, precisely.
How do I move my
Fantastic.
thing? Can I not move my fame and glory stake?
No. Yeah, you have to type it in the correct spot.
Well, our fame and glory are intersecting, Caitlin.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, that reminds me actually. If you it is actually a good idea if your stake is next to another person's to make it kind of clear that they're like if they're overlapping a little, that's actually fine because any stake that is on a domino that you're also touching, you may choose to fight for later as well. Which is gonna matter.
So I can also care what Arella thinks.
Yes.
What you think of yourself is mighty important.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Josh, did you place your token? Don't
I
think you
did.
And also, everyone remember once you
I
type
did
out a
not.
stake to draw your 2 dominoes.
Thank you.
The void. So especially if you're slamming down a whole bunch all at once, don't get sidetracked because I am not keeping track of how many people have.
Yeah, I'm gonna add another.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Me too, girl, for sure.
I missed. Okay, this needs to come over here. Oh no, it's stacking on top of each other.
Oh
That's
no.
you can stack on top of each other because I care what what's your name? Brevin thinks.
Oh, shucks.
Adorable. I'm adding another stake, and my stake is favor with not the local government, but with the government, whatever fucking area we're in at large.
Bootlicker.
Let's say
I'm a
Temeria.
mage.
Stuff's always going rough in Temeria.
Merrick, are we being crazy right now? Is this like a lot of stakes or very few stakes? Or
It is this is fine. It's honestly, this is as much a storytelling game. Like, it's technically competitive, but it's mostly a collaborative storytelling game. The only thing that I'll say really is that the more stakes you put up for risk, the less likely it is that all of them are going to be okay at the end.
So, Merrick, I have a question.
Yes.
So if my character token is over here, right?
Uh-huh.
Do I have to play on that domino, or can I go over
it's
here?
just for the sake of now it actually kind of doesn't matter anymore, but it will matter
Okay.
for other. Initially, it just matters for if your introduction is next to someone else's introduction, it shows that you're like doing
Got
something
it.
together.
Okay.
And Merrick, can I play this one on this double here?
Let's see. Yeah, like
Okay.
going upwards. Yes, exactly. That's the nice thing about doubles is that they create more branch. They create more than
Right.
one direction to go.
Can you guys shrink your fame and glory a little bit? I know it's a big ask.
Fine, I will. I'm also.
Oh yeah.
gonna-
Also, make sure it's your player color. Because we're
How
gonna
do
want.
I know it changed. I don't know how to fix that though.
If you click on it, there should be a little box that's like white,
Oh,
and it should let you. Yeah, there you go.
okay, got it. Matan, why can't you just type somewhere else?
Because that's where my domino goes. My
Is there a way to rotate our? or
Well,
do we
ours
just have
has to be related, huh? Right? Since you placed yours after mine.
your stakes don't have to be. Only your introductions have to be related. to your stakes.
Okay.
So
Got it.
we're done with that.
In my head, though, I am still thinking, oh, it's for the safety of this mage.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to add, I care very much about my family axe
Ah.
because I'm a dwarven stereotype.
Okay.
Hmm.
Excellent.
Well,
You
now,
know, I think that's about all I have to stake.
Really, you're not adding anymore.
Just-
Who's got this two?
Ooh.
Okay.
this is me.
Okay.
I was waiting for Merrick to introduce the stake.
Got it.
My other stake, I don't know how much these intersect, but will be my family reputation. Is that significantly different from fame and glory?
I would say so, definitely. Because
Amazing.
anything that can be as long as because your family reputation can be harmed without your fame and glory necessarily being harmed.
Sure.
You are not the whole of your family.
Josh,
Sure.
me the player, would like to put the stake of figuring out what the Witcher does.
All right, now, If
Not
anyone
done
else
yet.
wanted,
Yeah.
I could have done this earlier, but I didn't count this correctly, so it's fine. So the way that this phase ends is as soon as after everyone has had their introduction, and there is a place available to play a 10, I play this double 10 domino, and that ends the introduction phase.
So
So
do
I
we
could
need
have
to?
actually ganked all of you way earlier if I
Fuck.
had been paying attention, but
Huh.
it's very hard to recognize how many dots are on these things.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
And so now, so this ends the introduction phase. Everyone's drawn their 2 dominoes that they've gotten for every stake, hopefully.
I need to draw 2 more.
And we now get to move on to, normally this is the time, while you were all of this, I would be randomly generating the monster, but I did that in advance for obvious reasons. So now we move on to the investigation phase. So the way that the investigation phase works is all of you, starting with the player to my left and then going clockwise, all of you will be describing, well, you can do one of 2 things. You can continue establishing stakes on the main trail, which are all of these dominoes currently here. Stakes no longer give you 2 dominoes, though. It's just for the sake of building it out and giving everybody more options.
Okay.
Or you can start doing branches of investigation. So anytime where you play something onto an intersection, that starts a branch, and you will move your token onto that branch to indicate that it is yours. Nobody else can play anything on your branch, and that is you going off to carry out your own part of the investigation somewhere. Basically, you can describe that as a scene of you like talking to some of the townsfolk, wandering out into the woods and seeing what's up, some divination, what have you, etc. Once a branch is at least 2 dominoes long and ends in, I believe it is a 7 or higher, you get to ask me one of the questions that's on the little question sheets. It's in the notebooks on your character sheets if you didn't print it out or whatever.
Okay.
And that question will be, and then my answer will be a clue of some kind about what kind of monster I am. The advantage to this is that the Witcher player has some special knowledge about different types of monsters, and in order to get a bonus during the final fight that will help everybody, they need to know what we're up against, essentially.
Yeah.
Does that all sound clear, first off?
I think so.
All right, cool. So to start, though, the start of this phase is actually going to be how do all of you end up forming a hunting party together? Because so far everyone's kind of been doing their own thing, but now you're all going to realize, hey, we can join forces and take this thing on. We all want the same thing here. So who's going to like come up with, who's going to sort of like rally everyone together?
Well, Arella and I are already together.
I was gonna say, I
Gross.
think while we are at the tavern having a good time, Arella, being so much caring about what is going on in the town, she would say to Brevin, I heard there was a monster in town, and oh boy, do I love fighting monsters. And you
Aye.
seem pretty capable.
Aye, that's why I'm here. I love fighting monsters too.
You too? Oh,
Absolutely.
Shrek.
I love donkey.
donkey?
Yeah, I gotta be careful of the Shrek. Absolutely. Very exciting. Is that why you're here?
It's exactly why I'm here. I'm evil.
At that point, Igna is going to stand up from her just snooping place at the bar, and you both see a otherworldly kind of beauty approach you, because that is how mages work in this world. Kind of like Barbie plastic. Like it can't possibly, this can't be a real human being. And she'll just sit at an empty spot at your table. So you're both monster hunters then?
Yeah, I love killing monsters. Who are you?
Would you like to add a little bit of brain to your brawn? I'm Igna Campbells, and she'll shake your hand, of House Campbells, of course. A newly ordained mage. Come to save the town, of course.
Are you insulting my brain?
Are you insulting
I don't
her
have
brain?
brain or this dwarf here? I think we've got this.
I'll have you know I was the best speller in my third grade fantasy class.
Yeah.
At fantasy school.
I think at that Killian's gonna come in and he's gonna be like, fantasy school. Let me tell you something about fantasy school. It's a joke. No one should go to it. It means nothing. All you learn is how to be a monster. Wait, speaking of monsters, I hear there's one nearby. He sits down.
You talk like an Oblivion NPC.
Listen, I don't know who you are. I didn't go to school. I don't know what that is. I just fight monsters. I fight a lot of people. I've never had to have brain. My muscles are enough. I don't know. I don't see why I need brain now. My muscles have always been enough. So I don't know who you two are, but me and the dwarf, I think we got this.
I happen to agree. While I appreciate your spell-based pun, Igna, that was so rudely interrupted. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Are you a witcher?
Yeah, I am. What's it to you?
A brief huddle, Arella. And of course, you guys can totally hear us. But just, I don't know. While I do not doubt your skills, nor mine, I think having a witcher with us could only help.
I think you're right. The Witcher can stay.
All right, Witcher.
How do you feel about the magic one?
Not a fan of the attitude. But I think there will still be enough gold.
As long as I get my glory.
And hey, if she doesn't help, we just take her gold anyway.
I agree. I like it.
All right. Get in.
The dwarf and I have agreed to let you in.
Wonderful.
You daft pigeons. All right. Let's get to work.
Yeah, you were just like looking at them, like whispering loudly to each other.
Yeah.
Kind
It's
of like
the worst
looking at them,
sidebar.
looking back to the Witcher, like, is this, am I on pranked? What's going on here?
Yeah. And so then when we finish this, Ashton Kutcher jumps out of the next stall. It says, "You're on pranked!"
Hey, we got you.
Well, I'm glad you got all that result, because it does say right here that I can't start the next phase until you've joined the hunting party together. So
Cool.
that was going to be rough if you couldn't come to an agreement.
We were never joining up. Never.
All right. So to add a little bit more detail to the town now that you've all been in it for a bit, in addition to the inn and obviously a prominent fish market due to the nature of its economy, there is also a very, for the size of this village, a pretty impressive looking chapel to the Eternal Fire. It's not like, by impressive looking, again, I mostly mean that like the roof is intact all the way through. And
It's
it
well
looks
built.
clean.
Wow.
And there is also a statue of a kind of wizened older gentleman in the center of the town square, holding this big, impressive book and looking very regal out at basically all of the rest of the town. You can also notice that there is a hill overlooking the town, on the top of which is a small, but again, very, like, for the size of village, surprisingly like good-looking manor. The manor is in better condition and better, like, more impressive looking than the church is.
Okay.
So
Would I happen to know anything about the local politics or local history as a learned being?
So this is the thing that's kind of fun. You are the ones who are describing your scenes of investigation, right? So you kind of get to, when you start playing dominoes on branches, I only have authority over stuff that relates to the monster specifically. You can say kind of whatever you would like, as long as it doesn't contradict or assume to know anything about what I'm setting up, basically. So when we start playing dominoes, which actually I don't have a physical presence at this table, but I've been moused over this. Oh wait, before we forget, I almost forgot. Caitlin, your chivalry ability. Who are you going to choose to be able to share your hand with?
Oh, I'll definitely choose Brevin. Brevin.
Yeah.
All right.
My best
So like we
friend
did before, if you will if you'll use the zone tool to draw a big orange hidden box over this little area over here. At any time when you would like a peek at the knight's hand.
Wait, I was supposed to draw it, right?
Yeah, or we need the person, not you, Caitlin. We click on just click on your purple box and we'll go away. There you go.
Oh, it would. Okay, sorry.
You want an orange box here.
There we go.
So whenever you want to share your hand, you can select all of the dominoes, which you can shift click all of them, or you can like drag click to highlight all of them and just hold them over the orange box. Do not drop them in because
Don't drag them in,
to
yeah.
fetch them for you. But so like yeah.
Oh.
So that works?
Yes.
And you can see them, Matan?
I can see him.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Leave him. I want to look at him for a sec.
Okay.
And then, as in case it should go without saying, but the rest of you cannot really say what domino values you have in your hand.
Right.
Basically, you can sort of try to, maybe if you want to try to like role play of like, hey, I would appreciate it if nobody else started a new investigation. Just write this, please, or something. But yeah. So play will now start. So the player to my left, I think I've been hovering over kind of where this extra table is, so that'll be Matan, and then we'll go clockwise around the table. Now we take turns where you may play one domino, again, either onto the trail to add a new stake, but not getting 2 dominoes, or to start a branch, which will begin your investigation.
For clarity's sake, have we already been told, like, oh, there's a hunt to be had? Is there a clue that we start with, or do we have to find our first clues?
Yeah, all you know is that the village elder was killed by a monster. There have been postings at like crossroads and like word in neighboring areas that the town is offering a reward for someone to come and kill it. That's all.
Fantastic.
That's all you have to go off of right now.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so am I going first? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Okay. So I'm gonna play, and I can play it anywhere.
Yeah, but to start a branch of investigation, it has to be at an intersection.
It has
Which
to be
need
an
not be on the
intersection.
main one. You can intersect. It's going to be clunky, but you can intersect off of the branches that exist already.
Gotcha. It does that double, the double white. Does that count as the double like 0? Does that count as an intersection?
Oh, you want to play like going off of it?
Maybe.
Yes, I guess it does actually.
Okay.
These doubles always do. So yeah, this will get weird.
Yeah.
It will indeed, because I want to
Oh no.
Whoa.
What did I do?
play somewhere that will
Uh-oh.
confound that situation. Okay.
All right. So I played there. Then I get to ask you a question.
No. Once a branch is at least 2 dominoes long and ends in a 6 or higher, you get to
2
ask
dominoes
a
long
Oh
and
my
it
God.
ends in a
I
0.
don't know if you
Gotcha.
can see those. I don't know what's happening, guys.
question.
Oh, hon. Yes, we can see them. And they all just
You
died.
gotta click them one at a time.
What is happening? I
Wait,
can't.
what's going on? I've been.
There you go.
I
You got
got
him. You got him.
Okay.
Why am I not able to click them all one at a time?
Click off of them.
Probably because they're in your hand. If you want to, the easiest way would be to left click
Okay.
kind of above them and do.
Now they're working. But before, when I tried to click one because I was trying to see what I had, it just clicked all of them, and then it started bad.
Okay. Well.
Matan, let's hear your
Matan, your
the
zone
beginning
is
of your
not-
investigation.
Yeah, I got rid of it. Did you need it to stay there?
You're gonna be able to show. She can show your the rest of the game.
Oh, whenever. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Literally for the rest of the time that we were playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So I don't get to do an investigation yet because it's not too long.
Well, you say whatever you don't get to finish
okay.
it, but you get to start whatever it is.
Set the scene.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ask. I'm gonna go see about the elder, see where they were taken, and if there were any witnesses. So I might go to I don't know, the elder's hut. Is there a? I'll ask somebody. Hey,
Yeah.
where
Well,
the
you know,
elder?
I'm here for the monster hunt or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna ask specifically about the elder.
So you just ask like if you ask as a random peasant, they will tell you that the elder lived in the manor on the hill.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and also once you start a branch, move your token onto it because other people cannot play onto your dominoes onto your branch. There you go.
Oh, so this is Matan's branch. He has to do it all by himself.
Yeah, you're now immediately splitting the party in order to solve this mystery game.
Interesting. Okay.
We should have been the fantasy mystery Inc.
That would have been fun.
Like zoinks.
All right, so now
Pinky
it's the mage's turn.
What? It's my turn.
Yep. Oh no, it's not. It's the Witcher's turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right. Well, what I would like to do is see if I can go to the manor, and I don't want to investigate inside, but I'd want to investigate and see if there's any tracks that might
you want to
lead
start
me
snooping
somewhere.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm gonna play this domino over here. Let me rotate that bad boy. And there we go.
Actually, so that is not a branch. That would be adding to the trail because it goes like straight across it. In order to do a branch, it has to be at like an intersecting point.
Let me see if I have one. I do, actually. Amazing. And I apologize to everyone. I'm trying to use an on-screen keyboard right now.
You don't need a keyboard to use your mouse.
I have complete control over all the components as well, so if anything gets too off kilter, I'll just fix it.
Thank you.
You're all good. Yeah, put your token onto there, and that'll begin your snooping of the exterior of the manor. All right, now it is the mage.
Okay. So the token I want to use is gonna interfere with Matan's path, and I don't know how to avoid that. Should I just put it like lower, or?
Were you thinking of putting it?
Wait, let me find the stupid token again.
Yeah.
That's an 8. Huh. JK, I guess I don't have an 8. What? I thought I had an 8. What makes this thing so confusing?
It may be that you need to play extra stakes onto the trail in order to create new intersections that some people can actually use. That is a thing that sometimes will just happen.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just had a heart attack. I didn't see the recording thing on Zoom. I didn't see the recording button. I was like, okay, it's recording. It's recording.
So does it have to be off the main trail for me to do one?
All of this is the main trail.
Main trail. Okay, so I will,
including its little weird branches.
Okay, so I will put that there.
I see. Yeah, that's fine.
And I don't.
Yeah, there you go. That's
okay.
There.
I'm gonna start by inspecting the statue and getting familiar with the locals and the lore to see if anything magically suspicious is happening.
All right, always a good bet when there's monsters afoot. And then that brings us to the night.
All right. No, wrong way. So I'm gonna go over here, place this here, and then let me get that off. I'm going to go around town, also get familiar with the locals, and I'm gonna ask them, where was the elder last seen? What was he last doing?
Yeah, just try to get whatever information on his status as you can. Okay, cool. Monster turn.
Oh no.
So as all of you are asking around, you start to you get sort of the impression that a lot of people were kind of like trying to not think about the situation.
Sure.
And even though everyone is pretty helpful, and because none of you look like you're just like you all clearly are here for business, everyone who you talk to is like very immediately gets kind of like agitated and like nervous basically, because the reality of the fact that there's a monster about is like brought to the forefront suddenly, and they're like, oh man, that's right, we're haunted as hell. So, yeah. Now we go over to Matan.
All right. I play Pot of Greed. That lets me draw 2 more cards.
All right.
Okay. This motherfucker, and that finishes my investigation, correct?
That is true. And it is a second piece on the branch, and it is a 6 or higher. So your investigation ends in a success, which means you do find a clue of some kind here. So now, on the if you go into your notebook, you will see that there's a list of questions. So basically, what you find.
Oh no! What did I do? I got it.
You're fine.
It's fine.
You're good.
It's fine.
You're good. What you find will be presented in the form of, it will be me answering one of those questions in a way that is eventually useful.
Okay.
So you can sort of, and you can kind of flavor it as sort of like, oh, I'm investigating the manor, and I will flavor my answer to account for that, basically, like the situation that you set up during your investigative scene.
Okay. So I was going around asking basically about the attack on the elder.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the question I would ask is, what did you leave behind here?
Oh, you're right. I left behind.
Sorry. You don't sound like a monster right now. So just
all right. Well, if I can't flavor too much, because I might give away what kind of monster.
All right.
That would be a hint.
That was a good out. I'll let it slide.
I left behind a body, obviously.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that. The body of the elder?
Yes.
I thought maybe they took it.
Which was very quickly taken and burned by the church for fear of the traces they sensed upon it.
Magical traces? Okay, all right.
Interesting.
Traces of supernatural evil.
Gotcha.
So there's your first clue.
I see.
And you've completed investigative branch, which means you get to draw 2 dominoes.
Oh.
I think I forgot to mention that before.
Hey.
Yeah, when you complete a branch, you get 2 dominoes. So if you do it efficiently, you'll
You
never
broke
run out.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not just stuck with a few dominoes. Okay.
Yes. Was there? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention. So the way that this phase ends, by the by, whenever anybody draws the double 11, they should reveal it. The double 11s are like these greens.
Okay.
In the bottom left, we got here. So as soon as somebody plays the double 11, no matter where it gets played to, this phase comes to a conclusion, and we move on to the showdown.
Yeah.
Got it.
Scary. Don't do it, you
yeah.
guys.
Wow, we could be done really quick, huh?
Potentially, if you want to be.
Well, we don't have a choice if we do pull the 11-11. Right?
If you pull it, it's when someone plays it.
Oh, so you don't have to reveal you
When
have
you pull it, you reveal you have it, so everyone knows that we can go to go time. But you're not under any obligation to slam it down.
Don't do it.
But you are just kind of stuck with it until then. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not ready.
Also, I just remembered something that I forgot to do, which is I get to burgle the void a little bit.
Oh.
Hey,
there it is.
stop that.
What? Double
Did you
11?
pull the 11-11?
All right.
No.
So no, it's fine. So basically, I forgot on my turn as well. I draw from here, and any dominoes that are actual trash, I keep.
Okay.
So those go back.
Oh.
These get eaten. I forgot to do that on my turn earlier. Sorry, so that was out of sequence. On to the Witcher's turn.
All right. I follow around. I'm looking. I'm investigating.
You
And,
shop at Hot Topic.
I shop at Hot Topic, and I get my favorite band's T-shirt, and I end with a 6 there. So
Yeah. So you are good. So you find something investigating around the manor. What question do you want to ask?
what's unusual about what they left behind? Be it tracks or otherwise.
So, you don't find any obvious tracks in the immediate vicinity, and in fact, you're kind of feeling not much of you're finding not much of anything. That you get a growing sense that you are being watched. And after snooping around, at one point, when you finish a particular area, perhaps near the back of the manor somewhere, you turn around and you see that all of the nearby trees that are growing on the hill are just filled with black birds staring at you, making no noise, not cawing at all. They're just completely dead silent looking at you.
And I just kind of stare off in the middle distance and go, okay.
So that's where we're at, hey?
Yeah.
That's a very Witcher reaction.
Interesting.
Alright.
And then I believe I finish my. I'm just gonna. How do I?
Oh yeah, draw your 2 dominoes.
Yeah, I'm about to. Yeah.
Branch.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna get wonky. That's just how it is.
I'm just gonna put it that away.
Yeah, here we go. Start angling them diagonally off into the.
Yeah, we're that away. We're that away now.
Alright.
Which also means I finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And so I'm gonna ask the question: what does the clue I find say about you? And I think going in line with like my background, my goals, I'll be going around the church and the townsfolk and seeing like the local lore, like creepy monsters, like rituals, like old-timey superstitions. And I mean, you can tailor this however you want, Merrick, but
Of course.
I presume I would find something about ravens.
Well,
in
the nice thing
forest.
about the way this is set is when you complete a branch, you do find something. It doesn't, like, if you say that it has to do with the creepy, then it does. Like, this is, it's as much your scene as it is mine, basically. So, yeah. So, in the, as you're going around and you're asking people about people are like I said, everyone's agitated, but what you eventually learn about me is that and what you learned what this place says about me is that I am drawn here, or I am here. I was drawn here due to a relationship with the elven ruins that were built beneath this town, or that this town was built over, I guess I should say.
All right.
You said Elden?
Elven.
Elven.
Elfish.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're being selfish.
All right, so yeah, draw your 2 and to the knight.
All right.
I got the double 11.
Oh.
Okay.
Whoa.
So the investigation phase, as soon as you play it, you can draw this to a close.
Yay.
It just occurred to me that you may want Witcher to give your compatriots. Well, we'll finish the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, finish the round.
I'm gonna ask, why was something here important to you? I'm assuming I've gone around, I've talked to people in town. I've probably also learned about the ruins, and I want to know why.
We're sharing information.
Yeah, we're sharing information. I know about that. Why?
You're meeting up while you're running around back and forth through the
Yeah.
Why was something here important to me? All right, you can. So the thing that you learn is that this the reason that this place is important to me is because something that you managed to find out by talking to like one of the very older women in the town is this place, its name in Elvish means Raven Home, and
Yeah, on the nose.
Ravens are allies of mine.
And when you say mine, you mean the monster.
Yes, I am I'm not the GM. I'm the monster.
Okay.
So yeah, draw your 2 dominoes. And while I fish, after you draw your 2, while I start taking my monster tax on it, Witcher, you may want to tell your compatriots about what kind of information in general you're trying to find out in order to best prepare for your role during the showdown.
Right.
For your ability and whatnot.
You there, mage, dwarf, knight. Come here.
Yeah, all right.
What is
Team
it?
huddle. Now that we've
Yeah.
learned some stuff.
What do you want?
Well, I've been going around, looking around. I'm sure you have as well. So before we get to sharing information, we should keep in mind when we're trying to figure out what it is we're facing, we need to know its motivation, how it attacks us, so we can best defend ourselves, and whatever unusual behavior it might be showing. So keep that in mind when we're looking for things, yeah.
And developing theories about what those things might be.
And whatever the theories that might be. Thank you,
Well,
Sky God.
I have some pertinent information.
All right, let's hear it.
During my in-depth investigation, I discovered that... Oh, my accent's really, really going off the deep end here.
Get back to Shrek. Think about Shrek.
Back to Shrek.
Love
Donkey! Okay, there it is.
Donkey!
The body of the elder was found burnt. It was left there and then burnt by the church for fear of some sort of supernatural evil lingering on the kill.
Well, you know how commoners are. Superstitious as hell.
I'm
That
sorry,
could mean something, though.
You practice magic. I'm sorry.
Indeed.
And you call other people superstitious?
I know what I'm dealing with. There's often not much to fear.
Then please enlighten us.
Yeah, my dwarf friend here has a good point.
Well, it seems that there are ruins under the city, and it is almost entirely likely that the monster simply was awakened by some natural disturbance from down below.
I mean, the town, Cragford, it means Raven's home in Elvish, and the Ravens are allies of this monster.
Yes.
So it definitely has something to do with these ravens that keep watching us.
Yes, but
That's
it's not
exactly.
an unexplainable mystery. I mean,
No.
you don't just go burning a body, you must examine it. You must
I wish
find the clues.
I'm with you on that. I wish we knew more about the actual death and not just the fire.
Well, maybe in that case, we can go ask the church.
Yeah, maybe they did look at the body before they burned it. They might have information.
I want to go back to those ravens. When I was investigating earlier, they were just looking at me from a far off group of trees. Quiet. It was spooky.
I'm sure the monster is assessing our capability just as we are it.
They could very well be stalking us, yes.
Well, I'm off to the church. Whoever would like can accompany me. Arella.
So this will probably be during like sundown at the tavern. You're sharing a meal, like covering over the day's investigations or whatever. You hear a lot of commotion from outside all of a sudden, including what I don't know, whichever one of you is the most monster turn. Whichever one of you is like the most versed, I would, or whoever this makes the most appropriate sense for, one of you recognizes what can only be the panicked screams of a mother who does not know where their child is.
I would know that scream anywhere. That's a panicked mother. We must go help.
It's a panicked mother, ages 35 to 45.
The child is
Caucasian.
Let me know if it's the monster.
5 to 6 years old.
All right, let's go investigate.
So it is Matan's turn.
So I run outside.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to the church.
My axe. What do I see? I was going to go to the church before there was an emergency.
It's just
mother
people.
was
It's just like people kind of like running around. You kind of get the idea that some people are trying to maybe start like a group of some kind to try to figure out what to do. It's just like panic right now.
Are they mostly coming from one direction, running away from?
It's people. It's like kind of like milling about. That's like you do when there's an emergency, when it's like people are milling very fast, but they're not really like going.
Okay, I'll ask someone. I'll say, hey, excuse me, what seems to be the problem?
All right, so you're gonna start investigating.
Yes,
I will. You're gonna start asking people what is happening.
I don't. Yeah.
And so, Merrick, for these new branches, do we have to do the same thing where we have to find an intersection, or can we play off of our own branch?
You cannot play off of your own branch.
Okay.
Which means that you may need to build the trail out a little bit more.
I'm going to throw mine down right here.
So that would be building off of you can't build off other people's branches.
Oh, I can't build off other people's branches?
It has to be off of the branches of the trail.
So I can build off of this, like this?
Yes, this was a trail thing.
Okay.
So.
And to increase the trail size, we're putting more stakes in, correct?
Yeah, you play a
Great.
stake onto the main part of it, basically. Or alternatively, you could also play a stake by like, the trail has kind of branches that existed on it already, like this thing going off of the double 3 upwards. You could play increasing the trail. You could play the domino here to increase the trail size as well, for example. It's harder to tell in Tabletop Simulator due to the scribbles, but in the way to identify what the trail is and what people's branches are basically all the things that have the writing next to them, right? Because everything on the trail is a stake. So,
can we make stakes at any point?
Yes. As your turn, you can, instead of playing a domino that's part of an investigation branch, you can add a new stake to the trail.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to investigate for now. I'm going to throw that one down. Yeah. And so so I ask, hey, what?
You're going to start, and we'll find out what information you learn when we get back around.
Oh.
Because you don't learn anything until the branch finishes.
Right.
So.
Would this be an appropriate intersection?
I think
that would be for starting a branch, like investigation.
Yeah, if I want to investigate. Yeah,
yes,
great.
Yes.
In that case, I want to venture into that forest with the ravens.
Okay.
And that'll be
just classic Witcher. Just there's danger probably.
And I go, yeah.
Yeah, like all villages, it is near some amount of woodland. It takes a while to get into proper untamed, like just trees, but there are woods nearby.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna use my die. I'm gonna use my 0 and my 6. Go on this fucking side.
Yeah, this is gonna be
okay. Well,
all right. Hold
just
on.
Shat the bed, but that's a 0 and a 6.
Yeah. We're gonna just wiggle our way out through here. Okay.
I can set the rotation value.
There we go.
What did
I've done it.
All right,
you're rolling in real life and then just setting your dice in game to.
So for those of you watching, I guess one of the mage's abilities. Every character has 2 abilities, one more powerful than the other. But the mage's primary ability is at the start. They roll 4d12s and can play any two of them together as if they were a domino of that value. with 12
Oh,
sided
that's very
dominoes.
good.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they've got
I have,
they've got a small mini hand of wild card to throw out because magic.
because magic, I can just do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I also have a 1 and an 8 left, so eventually.
Mhm.
Well, since someone is not going to the church like they said they would,
Hmm.
I will take that under my wing and see whom I can talk to discuss details about our elder and his health.
He's just like, fuck these villagers.
Everybody's like
I'm gonna
running
go
around
get on with
screaming, and you're just like
I-
calmly walking to the church.
I just
So-
beelined it to a forest somewhere.
So since you did use your dice, which are expressly, you can flavor your scenes with magic however you want.
Oh,
But these
yes.
ones are definitely, magic is definitely involved in this one because you're using the dice. So like, what
Yeah,
kind
I think how it will depend on how the church reacts to a mage.
of...
We'll
okay.
see.
Gonna
I
glamour
don't
them
know.
a little bit, perhaps. Okay. And then night.
So can I add like right in here?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But,
Good luck indeed. Cool. Good.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna follow Brevin outside and investigate the screaming lady and figure out what's going on.
You're gonna like try to find the mom.
The
Yeah.
lady.
Specifically.
Specifically,
Okay.
the mom that's screaming.
Yeah.
One's going for the danger, one's going for the mom.
Mhm. All right. Cool. Monster turn. Let's see.
No thanks. No, it's
Bye.
okay.
So the sun is starting to set at this point, and you hear some very ominous howling off in the distance.
Howling.
And it sounds like regular wolves, but maybe a lot of them. Maybe it's unrelated, but you all become very concerned for if whatever has happened or whoever is missing is in those woods.
Ooh.
And then I will draw my...
It's a good thing the Witcher's in the woods.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh, I didn't hit. Oh, there we go. Oop. Oop. Sorry. All right. So next up.
Shrek, it's your turn.
That is the dwarf.
Wreck.
Get
Okay.
select.
Well, what's the number there? I didn't.
Oh, that's your
move.
investigation. Yeah.
Where was I?
And
I was here.
Yeah.
Who played on mine?
No, wait, was that yours? That was mine last time.
I played.
Were you this one, Matan?
Man, probably should have moved my piece last turn. No, I'm here.
Uh-oh.
Figured it
Alright.
out.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bump my die, okay?
No, fine.
Precious
Um,
cargo.
All right, I am playing one here. So yes, basically, I'm asking somebody what's going on.
yeah. Well, what is your actual? You have to pick from one of the actual questions because
Oh,
what you're asking in character is what's going on, but the super questions are what do you learn from asking that basically? Like, what am
Gotcha.
I actually going to give you as your clue?
Okay.
from your interrogation and investigation.
What does the clue I find say about you?
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It can be. This is why I came up with a bunch of clue ideas in advance.
Ooh.
Preparation. You love
Which
to see
which
it.
the monster can do during the introduction phase because they don't have to be paying attention for that really while you're all setting up your stakes. But
for us, we need you to walk us through it because we're dumb.
yeah, I've got a couple of more than one plate in the air. Okay, I know. you one of the things that you gather is that yes, someone has disappeared. A lot of the people don't know a lot of details, which inspires you to basically start being like, well, what can you tell me about what's happening, basically? And what you learn from that is that the one like common thread that everybody mentions is that there was the normally quiet ravens, I think we can all agree is what's been perching around here, started going nuts roughly around the time that, like, short before the commotion happened and before somebody vanished.
Right before it happened.
Signaling to you that, so what it says about me is that I have a relationship of some kind very directly with these ravens, since I responded to their call in some capacity.
Gotcha. When you say it went crazy, they started cawing a lot?
Yeah,
Did they fly somewhere?
just
Did they
all of a
attack?
sudden a bunch of bird racket kicked up, whereas normally, as you've noticed, they've been very quiet.
Gotcha.
All right, draw your 2.
Thank you.
And the Witcher.
Yeah, so I leave the inn. Everyone's running around, but I'm dead set on these ravens, and I go into the forest and I investigate. And during my investigation, I have to wonder, what were you doing here?
Let's see. You start. No, this is. I'm trying to think of one because you don't know the other thing, so I need to keep that in context. You do not have to go very far into the woods before you find the body of a very small girl. She is dead. And from the her, let's see, her, the thing, you would have to do another investigation to get too much more than this, but what you can immediately tell from the surroundings that you find her in, and how there's like no sign of any kind of struggle. She has no defensive wounds. Her throat was just cut and she died almost instantly.
Ooh.
I was lying in wait and I knew that she would be straight here. Like I was ready, and I did, and to just go as soon as she arrived.
I think the Witcher kind of, or me, I think I do kind of, you know, I'm not happy about the loss of life, but I also don't really care. And I pick her up gently, and I will start walking, and we'll get to that next time.
Okay. Draw your 2.
Sorry, guys.
All right. I think I make my way. You know, I have a conversation with the church members. And I think they let me see the body because maybe I don't need.
The body of the owner's gone.
The ashes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, they bring me to his little pot because he's an important person, and they keep the ashes to display and remember him by.
Good.
And this is going to depend on how much magical flexibility you're going to give me, Merrick.
A lot.
Huh?
A lot.
A lot? Yeah, mages.
Mhm.
So I want to kind of commune with the ashes
Mm.
and connect to its spirit in the afterlife
Mhm.
and see if it will provide me with a vision answering the question, how did you attack here? So I think my magical powers will help me visualize the past as it happened
Yeah.
from the dead man's perspective.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. Hmm.
Mahik.
Mahika.
Mahika, I did not suffer through training for nothing.
um. The way that so what you learn from the vision here is that uh the way that I struck, as you see through his eyes playing out before you, is I used uh, my own powers to force him out into the woods,
Oh.
where I could easily strike him down.
By strike, you mean like physical, like claw?
Where
Or-
I just executed him clean. You basically, he, through his eyes you would not see because it would just be dark. You
Sure.
just see him just sort of like as if sleepwalking, wander
Oh.
out from the manor, out down the path into the woods, and then away he goes.
All right. And they said education was useless. Well, I think Aratusa is a pretty fine institution.
Oh yeah, and the church people probably didn't give you, like, they probably were sort of like, whatever. I mean, they're not, magic isn't a big part of their religion or whatever,
Nope.
but it's not witch burning times around here.
It is not, because
And also,
witches
you
are
don't have to
cool.
do anything super, like, you can just hang by the ashes. It wasn't like you were like, hey, I need you to loan me these for
Yeah.
several
in the
hours.
church.
Don't everyone
But I
turn your
like to flaunt my authority.
back. Okay. To the knight.
So I have a question. If I play a stake, do I get to pull something after? Pull a
No.
domino. Okay.
You can only play one domino a turn.
Yeah, but so after I play a domino, like play a stake, I don't get to pull another one?
No, if you play a stake, all it does is it adds to the trail. You don't get any. You no longer get bonus dominoes for playing stakes.
What if I don't have like a connecting one to this one?
Ooh.
I do, but it's bad. But I don't want it. I could add a stake.
So
I want to know my
if
options.
you can play a domino, you must.
I can play it as a stake though.
Yes, you may play it as a stake.
So
And if you can't play a domino, then monster turn.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
So I'll just have to take the loss here. I miscalculated last turn. I looked at my dominoes wrong.
That's okay.
It's fine.
It'll just be a long investigation.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So the other thing, if you're playing it on the branch, you're just making the branch longer than it needs to. Like a branch can be more than 2 dominoes. It's just like it doesn't. So if you're playing it onto this branch so that you can play presumably a connecting thing next turn that'll finish it, right?
Well, no, but this is my investigation.
Right.
Yeah. So you can extend, an investigation must be at least 2 dominoes long, but it can be longer.
So I can extend it?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you would be doing by playing it.
So if you have a 1 with like a 8 on the other side, then it would finish next turn.
Oh, okay, wait. So this doesn't end the investigation?
No.
Correct. It does not end the investigation. It just...
Can I abandon this investigation?
You may abandon an investigation. I would not play another domino onto it if that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to finish this. Yeah, I did not realize that's how that worked.
Let me see.
I will just add a stake up here then. and I will just abandon that.
Mhm.
You cannot find the mother.
So what is the
Just-
new? Oh yeah, you're doing a new stake. That's right.
Yeah, I heard her screams. She disappeared into the crowd. Brevin, I'm coming back to you. We're gonna investigate other things. So this new stake is I want to ensure the safety of local civilians so that no one else disappears by the monster. That's my stake.
Nice.
The tall order.
Yeah,
Many monster turns to go.
right.
No. Don't say that.
Yeah. We'll say that you're going to try to keep as few people from dying
Yeah.
as possible, so I have a little leeway. Speaking of monster turns,
Whoa.
while you're writing that out, let's see. What am I gonna do? So night is starting to fall. People are
No.
not so hot on the idea of going out to look for the missing girl. Even though they're still gathering, like people are getting torches and stuff. A lot of very quiet ravens are congregating on all of the rooftops and observing the goings on of the village currently. That's gonna be it for me.
Ah.
Well, I'm not sure what to do.
You have a branch to finish, don't you? Or do you not?
He just finished it.
No, I
that's
just
right.
finished it.
Yeah, this is another thing.
well,
Like you can talk about potentially trying to end, because Adri does still have the end domino.
11.
We can reconvene at the tavern because we've all finished or abandoned.
Yes,
our...
Yeah, I'll go back to the
quests.
tavern. Can we talk out of character about ending it?
Yeah.
I would say
About
you
we
can
talk in
about
character.
ending
Yeah,
it.
let's do it.
Yeah, you're right. All right, well, I think
Oh.
I've done all the investigating I can.
Before we do that, Witcher, you're bringing a dead body back. How the fuck does that go?
So let's play that out.
Right.
I get into town with a dead body.
Mhm.
I knowing that what they have done with the previous dead body, I'll try and call out from outside, Mage.
Do I hear him?
Sure, why not? I mean, this is you guys are describing. This is all you. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
just a
mean,
monster.
Brevin and I are already outside, so I assume we just see.
Okay, we all appear out
Yeah.
of the nighttime darkness.
Oh no.
I found the girl.
You found the girl, and I couldn't even find her mother.
Well, I'm sure she'll find her now. I think you went to the church. You might have some rapport. How
Yes,
about
let us bring her there.
Yeah.
I saw when I visited the church, I was able to perform a ritual such that I learned that the elder had been magically persuaded, consciously or not, to visit the forest at night, most likely around this hour, and was quickly executed, much like this young lady here. It
Wait.
seems that the ravens are entrancing them in some way to, not of their own volition, to fall into a trap.
And then this seems like a smarter beastie than I was anticipating.
if they're bewitching them, there's some monsters that I might know of.
What does that tell you, Witcher?
Well, based off of what we know so far, I have a couple of leads, but depends on how much more we want to go and learn before I can really say anything.
What else do you need to know to discern what type of beast we are facing?
Well, if our investigations are to lead me in the right direction, birds, feathers, traces of magic, bewitching and stalking, to the best of my knowledge, I have one monster that might be our problem here.
And what's that?
It's called a relict. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
Well,
Listen, I normally just head straight into battle. I don't care what monster I'm fighting. My big arms will always save me. I am down to go straight into battle. I don't care. I'm bad at this investigation stuff. I don't have this brain power. I don't know what investigating things y'all are doing. But I'm confident in my skills.
But Knight, that's where party comes in. I may not be great on my own, but with people around me, we can do great things.
And this creature, you think it may be, where is its nest, most likely? In the ruins, the forest?
The forest, most likely. I mean, if what you've said about the ravens bewitching the people, the same thing happened to this girl. They take themselves to the woods, and there it lies in wait and cuts their throat, ends their life. So we need to be wary of that ourselves.
Perhaps we should try and find a secret entrance to the ruins before we go straight into the mouth of the beast.
and does that seem business for tomorrow? I don't know if travel. Nope, lost it again. Shrek. It's Shrek. It's Shrek.
Donkey.
I'm not sure if going out during the night is a great idea.
Well, it seems that this would be the time it strikes. It might be at its most powerful.
All right,
So-
well then we'll wait
Yeah,
for
this
the
village
morning.
can definitely survive another night. It's fine.
Yeah,
Don't
they
worry.
already got the girl. Whatever.
I'm sure I won't do anything during this. Hey, Witcher, is there anything else that you are not so sure on, or that you would like leads on potentially, if we are going to continue investigating?
Well, it seems that I have something in mind, but the motivation I'm not sure about. It might be
It's
trying to get revenge for something, but we know its preferred method of attack. It likes to lie in wait, and it seems to be able to bewitch people to come to its attacking place. So
The ruins in the morning, then.
Aye.
But the mechanical purpose of this discussion was to decide whether we're going on your next turn, Adri, or whether we're going a turn later, right?
Yeah,
Do
I
we
think we're
wanna
gonna
end it?
go a turn later so that we have a round to investigate the ruins.
Okay,
Right? Unless Matan, you just finish
No, yeah.
everything.
that makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
let's investigate in the morning.
The ruins.
Okay.
Tally ho.
So it is Matan's turn. That was all kind of taking place in media res, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Would you like to start an investigation branch, or would you like to add to the trail? Something that I will note is that since the double 11 is going to be played on Adri's turn, that means that Kaylin is not going to get, Kaylin gets one more play, whereas everyone else gets two.
Aw.
Yeah, so either Matan or Josh needs to, or both of them need to complete an investigation in this round and the next.
Because unfinished branches are not going to help or matter in the phase that comes after this.
Caitlin and I will be adding to the trail.
Can I continue this branch right here?
Once an investigation branch is completed, it's not helpful anymore, basically.
Gotcha.
Done.
Okay. Not sure where I can play then.
I only really have one play myself.
Like a full play?
What
or...
is this one right here?
That is trail.
That's trail.
Is there anything my dominoes can do for him? Like, because I should show him dominoes. So is there anything that can help with?
You could, in order to sort of demonstrate where you're thinking of, if you think it'll help demonstrate where you're thinking of playing or what you.
I don't think it matters where I'm thinking of going because he has to place one now.
In
Mhm.
theory,
know
we
if
could
I
take
have-
more than one more turn, one more round.
But
But the
well,
monster gets more rounds that way.
Yeah.
So
And you
Yeah.
also get closer to using up all of your delicious domino.
yeah.
yeah.
So
I don't want to spend much more than what I have.
So I
Is
don't know.
there
I
a-
guess
Is there a way you can complete it in 2 goes? And let's go on the
I don't
next one.
think I don't see any way in which I could start and finish an investigation.
I have 1 full investigation.
In which case,
Oh,
adding
right. So
to
the
a,
Witcher can do it. Yeah.
yeah. In which case, like, if you don't think you can complete a thing, you can add to the trail establishing
And this is-
mistake. It might open up plays for other people.
And this one
Mhm.
is trail, is that right?
Yes, that is trail.
So I will do this.
Ooh. Okay.
Cool.
And since that's adding to the trail, it establishes a stake. So
So I
that's a new
got to add a
stake you're gonna
stake.
fight for.
Okay, I'll think of something. You guys continue. I'll write something.
Okay. So I knew the dwarf is down to fight for.
That actually gave me a second play. So I will be going into the ruins as discussed.
Hmm?
That's my turn.
Where do you find an entrance to the ruins?
Hey, you know, that's a
in the
great
church,
question.
in the church, in the church.
If that was discussed last night, then
It
in
was
the
not.
church.
No.
You're the one starting the scene and doing the investigation.
Ah.
You get to say.
I think for me, I think The Witcher is gonna try and ask whoever may be the most learned of the city, which may have been the old man that we came to investigate. So
He's
yeah,
dead,
I'll
so
go-
it's me now.
Very.
I'll is there like, can I in character basically go, mage, help me out on this?
Yes.
All right,
All right.
then mage, help me out on this. Where do you think the entrance to this ruin would be?
Well, you know, I did notice a couple stones out of place in the church. And, I mean, you know, this is but a simple village, but there could be something there. Maybe there is an entrance. And I find us a fucking entrance in the church because
All right,
churches are
cool.
creepy and weird.
Let me interject. I'm trying to take down a stake. What about, does this work? Impatience. I really just want to fight.
No. A stake has to be. A stake is something that is at threat by the monster that you are willing to risk your life to protect.
Something that is at threat by the monster that I'm willing to
Yeah.
risk my life for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come back to me.
All right.
You were talking about the church.
Yeah. You maybe have to like take down part of a wall to get there because it was just like built over it. But it's like, yeah, we
Yeah.
never bothered to fill in these tunnels because we take too much work. So
Hot.
yeah. All right.
Spicy.
you
I
go.
love it.
And then it is mage turn.
That's my turn. I'm just going to build onto the trail.
Okay.
Some nice spots over here.
Oh, that actually, since that is a double, that goes
Oh,
this
right,
way,
sideways.
and
Yeah,
it
I
makes
forgot.
the trail go 3
All
new-
the directions.
Yep.
And I must think of my mistake. Son, I don't know. This shit's hard.
What about this? What about this? I want a good story to show up. My
Perfect.
cousin Yarpin. Yeah.
Perfect. That can absolutely be a theory. Like you can absolutely win the day, but you personally will have like you'll be like, and then he like farted real loud right as the monster died.
Right. Right.
You could easily win, but not get a good story out of it.
I think I'm gonna say like favor with the church at large.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
the Church
this
of the
is
Eternal
under-
Fire is a widespread thing, so
Yeah.
if they have to, however begrudgingly, be like, yeah, this mage helped us out, then that's
Right.
Like, man, you had a problem under your church. What the fuck were you thinking? I had to go fix your shit. Wow.
all right. And then the knight.
All right, I will just.
Oh, that was a good one for us, huh?
Yeah.
If you're building onto the trail, you're gonna want to go upwards.
Oh, that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wait, if I have to go that way, I'm gonna do a different one. I didn't realize I had to go that way.
Well, it doesn't. It's.
That's true. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah.
I was just making sure I had to play next turn
Yeah. Gotcha.
so that we didn't.
Yeah,
make
that's
the
good.
Monster.
That's good.
Because with the other one, I did not have a play. Okay, and then my stake is. Oh shoot, I had it. What was it? I should have wrote it down.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Think on it. Matan, oh yeah, good story. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you came up with.
So
A good monster killing story.
yeah, it is now.
Monster turn.
I'm gonna. Oh, this is my last one before the stuff starts happening. All right. The townsfolk are starting to. Some of them start gathering around the statue that's in the square, which, in case it wasn't clear from before, is a statue of the town elder, because he was also a founder of this village, actually. And they're starting to like debate about like tearing it down or something.
What?
Just because they're getting angry. They're like thinking like this is his fault somehow, probably. Like he did this.
The man who died first.
Yeah.
I thought of my other stake.
They're just looking for something to blame, and they're getting upset, and they're like, rabble. And there's like it's not like a huge angry mob. It's basically just like a huge argument has broken out in front of at the statue, because there are a couple of people there who are kind of like threatening to deface it in some way. And everyone else is like, what's wrong with you? Etc. All right. That is monster turn.
Caitlin, what's your stake?
My stake is just Brevin. I want to make sure you stay alive. I've had a lot of friends die. You know, being a knight is a hard job. A lot of friends, a lot of loved ones die. Brevin, I want you to stay alive.
How kind.
I don't care if any of you live or die.
I don't care if you live or die.
All right, at least we have an accord.
We're on the same page.
Edgelords.
Witcher, I don't care about you either, just so we're clear.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even know your name.
Knight, yeah, you do.
Name. You're just the Witcher.
All right. That's very true to the source material. All right.
Yeah.
To the dwarf.
So Adrianna, you're gonna end it this turn.
Yeah.
I guess I will play, just build it again on the branch, on the trail.
Yeah.
Drop this baby right here.
What's your stake?
All right, I'll have to think again.
Fine, you got a couple turns. Have you made a stake that's actually just your monetary reward yet?
No, that's it. You got it. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Remember, you all are technically being paid for this.
That's a good one. I forgot about that.
My payday.
Now,
baby.
that being said,
money-
even though some characters are getting paid, you might not actually care. Like
Yeah.
the money
I
might
do.
not be what matters to you.
I don't do this for money. I do this for good and the protection of others.
It is reasonable to not have a stake that is money,
Yeah.
despite the.
I do this for
Caitlin-
favors.
You've said glory like 50 times and you
Did.
didn't say it that time.
No, I did say glory.
She did.
I did say
Rewind. Okay.
Um,
And replay.
glory.
The-
Rewind, we'll just get that clip of me saying glory and just right here.
Witcher,
All right.
ask a question that's going to give you whatever you're unsure about.
We have found ourselves in the ruins,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to find the motivation of this monster.
Right.
And so I am going to ask, what does the clue I find say about you?
Okay. Oh, this one, the way that this is played out is actually very easy. So when you get down there and you, based off of the fact that you discovered that this place is cursed AF, you, what that says about me is that I have been drawn here by a curse.
Hmm.
It maybe took a while to get cooking, but the land of Ravenholm is not thrilled about being built on top of.
Got it.
There you go. The nice thing about once you get like deep into the investigation of enough, and you've only like, and enough people have asked enough questions, it eventually pins me until I can't give ambiguous answers anymore. I can't, like, I sort of have no choice but to just be like, is this?
Yeah.
This is the one.
Which is good. It means that you've all been doing good works.
I'm just gonna put this over here because my dice are in the way.
Right.
But you know what's up.
Yeah.
Don't put it over my dice. What are you doing? That looks horrible.
Yeah.
It worked.
No,
No.
I do not want to
So,
stack dice. Who's doing
The
it?
investigation phase comes to a conclusion.
Who threw it off the table?
It doesn't Superman. All right. So everybody, please take your tokens and move them away from this general location for a second. Thank you. And now, so I did this cool trick where I locked all of the parts that are the trail, but not the ones that are the branches, which means I can do a super select here,
Ah.
and away they go.
Oh, you took
Oh.
the
They sure did.
double.
Wait, can you rewind real quick? I didn't draw after my investigation. I apologize.
Oh.
There we go.
I will
Wow.
draw 2 real quick. All right, fantastic.
Yes,
Thank
please
you.
do. All right.
Hey,
cool.
wait, I'm gonna move this out of the way. There we go.
No, the double's going also,
Oh, okay, never mind.
because that is a branch.
Okay.
So
Sure.
it's going, it gets played and immediately goes back to the void.
You took my die.
I did. It's in there too now. If anyone draws a die, just get rid of it. It does
The-
not belong.
Yes. What?
So now we begin the showdown phase. So the first thing for the showdown phase is the investigation phase. Blah blah blah. Witcher uses their Witcher preparation ability, and the hunting party describes how they will move to finally confront the monster. I will create a quick note here. So basically, there are. Well, you can describe how your ability works first. Actually, why not? So that the party knows what you're trying to do, and maybe can give you some advice about how to do it. Because this is a group.
Should I just say this word for word, or should I just do it in character?
The one
I can do
that
it.
is the mechanical one about guessing the stuff. Yes.
Okay. So word for word, my mechanical preparation here is called Witcher's Preparations. Once before the showdown, with the assistance of your hunting party, guess each of the following: what type of monster you're facing, its motivation, its preferred method of attack, and something particularly unusual about its behavior. Then, describe how you will take advantage of each during the showdown. The monster, Merrick, judges whether out of your 4 approaches you have an effective exploitation of their species, motivation, battle tactics, and behavior. For each that you do, draw 1 domino. So,
Can you say those 4 things again? I'm gonna write them on the table because I can and will forget.
absolutely.
Give me a second to select a color. Okay, go for it.
We need to guess what type of monster we're facing.
It's family, not
Okay.
specific monster type.
Oh yeah, we're
Penis.
fighting Jeffrey.
Oh, dang. Its motivation.
Ah, okay.
Its preferred method of attack.
Straight for the nuts. That's my preferred
Mhm.
method.
And something particularly unusual about its behavior.
And a thing I will note is that whether or not you get the domino is not whether you get it right, but whether the way that you have of answering it would effectively address what it actually is.
Okay.
So if you guess its unusual behavior technically wrong, but whatever you do to address it in the fight is something that would work against the real answer, you still get it.
Cool.
Mhm.
Contrawise, if what you describe is if you guessed correctly, but the way that you describe makes no sense, you do not get a domino.
Right.
So you do have to actually think about how you're going to exploit each of the knowledge here. And on that segues perfectly into the Witcher world has a wide range of ways to use what you've learned against the monster. Here are some examples of how a Witcher might approach some situations. Concocting a potion that turns their blood into poison against monsters that fight, mixing a sword oil that reacts acidically in contact with scales and scaly monsters, making a bomb with anti-magic, dust against monsters using magic, making explosive shrapnel trap as a lure, getting a crossbow to shoot flying things, commissioning an enchanted amulet to protect against fire that breathes fire, baiting it into some type of ground that it might not like to fight on, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever kind of approaches you all can think. So the Witcher is going to have final say, and the Witcher also has some information about specific, like what some of the possibilities of what I could be are that are going to help,
Mhm.
but everyone can brainstorm together about an approach for each of these 4 things.
Right.
Now, I want to clear this up for myself, just in case I've been doing it incorrectly. I'm looking at my Witcher monster feature sheet that I get to
Mhm.
look at. If I choose something on the leftmost column,
Yeah.
is everything to the right what it is, or is
Correct.
it I'm choosing from each one?
Everything
Okay.
to the right, everything in one row is bound together.
Great.
So the things on the right are basically how you deduce which monster family it belongs to.
Alrighty.
So we're back at the inn discussing our plan.
Yeah,
Before
getting
we
ready for
start
the final
this-
showdown. So yeah, now that everyone's back together, we can basically just what you're doing here is you're figuring out what your approach for each of these 4 things is going to be, and for each one you get right, you'll get a bonus during the showdown round.
Shall
So-
we do this in character then?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Mm.
So what type of monster could this be? Which I'm not
Well, my
quite
earlier
familiar with all the
deductions,
subspecies.
my earlier deductions, while I feel like they were somewhat relevant, our recent dive into the ruins lead me to believe this is a cursed individual, just a
Hmm.
cursed monster.
But
Could-
what kind of monster?
Cursed is a family
Cursed.
Oh.
of monster.
Hmm.
As is the other one that you said was relict, I think.
Yes.
So there's different families. Ogroid is another kind, etc.
Right, a cursed. And what motivation might it have?
Well, it would seem that the city was built over strong magics to bring it here and to lead it, and it stays cursed.
I mean,
Hmm.
it seems to be angry about the whole Ravenholm relics underneath the town. So I feel like
Yes.
its motivation has to do with wanting its town back.
Yes, the
Hmm.
ruins self-defense mechanism of sorts.
Yeah.
Releasing a monster in the town.
The thing about
Right.
cursed creatures, they tend to leave claw marks, which they have on multiple people at this point, and as well as gory remains, and well, usually no witnesses, and so far I don't think anyone has seen this deed happen.
Hmm.
Yes, it's luring people. It's setting a trap, compelling them, doing it quietly and terrifyingly, to be honest.
So then its method of attack would be some sort of psychic ability and claws?
To bewitch, lure, and strike from the shadows. Yes.
You said that their attacks are normally gory, no? But this was
To-
rather clean, just a cut.
Well, one cut to the throat leads to a lot of blood and gore.
I suppose.
We're facing a coward, I see. Hides in the shadows. My least favorite type of monster.
And then is there anything unusual about its behavior we can exploit?
Well, it seems to show us when it's going to attack when it uses its ravens.
Its
and
ravens.
Truthfully, yes, it seems that the ravens are a part of it. Maybe it is the ravens. It is connected in some way to these birds about town in the forest. And it wasn't until they acted up that an attack happened.
Well, I do remember hearing a howl of some sort. I'm not sure if that was related or not.
Oh, it could have
Could
been the
be.
beast.
Hmm.
And Brevin, didn't you say that the birds went cawing like crazy before the woman noticed her child was missing?
Aye.
So that's a signal, something we know for certain. When it's going to attack, we could, follow its suspect into the woods and ambush it while it's busy.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Do we need
wait
a potion of sorts to break the curse, or?
Monster, would I know anything about this?
We're getting into like the super non-canonical part now. So
Okay.
like, sure, go nuts. It's magic.
Yeah,
Who's gonna stop us?
Tell us everything you know about this. And all potions that will just kill it in one hit.
Well, I think the potion will remove the curse, and we have to do the actual killing. But
I like killing.
I think you might have the capabilities to deal with the curse, and then Achillean will pull his silver blade and just go, I think I have the capabilities to deal with the beast.
all right.
Does the dwarf like look at your sword and then like pull the axe like?
Yeah. And my axe. Yeah. And his is bigger than mine. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's your
shit.
blade, huh? Yeah.
It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
What's your weapon, Arella?
I just have a very big sword.
Oh.
It's sexy and big.
Is it like classical knight sword, or is
Yes.
it like cloud buster?
No,
It's a buster.
Yeah.
It's classical knight sword.
Uh-huh.
It's like up to my waist tall.
Mm-hmm.
Real question: is it
longsword.
sexier than Brevin?
Oh, ooh.
Ah
Oh, stop it, Matan. I'm gonna be cursed. Cursed. You're the cursed one. This is
What's
cursed
up, Shadi?
content. No.
This dwarf is different.
Yeah. Well, I'm built different.
Igna, you got me there, but I only want one of them to penetrate me.
Oh. Yes, then.
Aye!
Not even
Nothing to that!
not even the pommel. You think not even just the safe side. Just the pommel.
Not ideally.
Oh,
But
I know.
let's set
Think
off.
about it.
Do we have an idea what its den would be?
The forest, where I found the girl.
Pretty. I'm not sure how to tell you this, Witcher. It's a pretty big forest.
The
Well,
forest where I found the girl.
yes, the same spot. I think is what he means.
All right, it's a start. Let's go.
Well, before we let's go. So how are you going to deal with all of these 4 aspects?
Oh, that's right.
Read them off to me
So
if you're ready.
You're cursed.
So cursed, yes.
I'm decurse job.
Mm-hmm.
Decurse magic job. Me.
And then I think our swords will do a fine job of killing that monster.
My
axe.
silver
Yeah.
blade.
Then it wants revenge. So it seems it's sort of the ruins fighting back. I don't have a solution for that besides kill it. I mean,
Yeah.
can't be vengeful if you're dead.
It doesn't have to be like a way
Yes,
of
you can.
it's a way of it has to be a way to use that to your advantage somehow. So if you think of it in terms of like, or you believe that I care, that I'm like the ruins are something I'm trying to take revenge for or protect or something or whatever, how can you turn that to being your advantage?
Any ideas?
We could set a trap.
If
Two
it's a
of us
vengeful spirit, go
could
ahead.
go and start destroying some of the ruins
Mmm.
while the others
Alternatively,
are in the forest. Go ahead, Witcher.
while I think that destroying the ruins could be an answer, we could push the town to celebrate the ruins instead.
But see, then we don't end up killing.
No, we can still kill the vengeful spirit. Monsters have to go. But to avoid any future apparitions, we could have the town bless it in some way.
That's a good idea. And
All
maybe
right.
the monster would be distracted by the glory of the town.
A hallowed festival each year to celebrate the ruins on which they now stand, right?
Is this the origin
Yes.
story of Halloween in the
Yes.
Witcher universe?
Yes. Yes.
Every year
Yeah.
they can dress up and
Yes.
dance and celebrate, and then they will eat candy.
I
That
think this
sounds
is a
delicious.
wonderful idea.
I think
All
that's
right.
oh, and the destroying part, they can have these pumpkins and they can smash them.
Mhm.
They can still
Symbolic.
topple the tower or the statue in the middle of town if they'd like.
Yes, that's
Yes, of
the
course.
symbolic smashing of the ruins.
All right. Well, that's a good plan to me.
And we're clearly using its preferred method of attack to reverse
it.
trap it.
Mhm.
And we'll do it tonight on this hallowed eve.
Yes, of course.
Of course, on the Hallowed Eve.
Okay, that's that part. The next up, it's preferred method of attack.
Yeah.
So
Surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah, so we're using its regularity, its habits, the way it kills in order to track it down. I think that's rather
Use
advantageous.
tricks and the treats.
We're not only exploiting its unusual behavior, but we're exploiting the way it attacks people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then
Oh. Which means if we want to avoid anyone else being hurt, we make sure that they can't be bewitched by these ravens. So
well,
that leads into the celebration.
that ties into the next bit as well. They use the ravens seemingly to scope out and prey. Seemingly to keep tabs on all of us. It'll be hard to approach sneakily.
If we get them all in one place in the town square for the festival,
Mhm.
right, then we'll notice when someone wanders off.
That's a good
Exactly.
idea.
I think we have a plan.
All right.
The only thing I haven't really heard for sure is using is how you're going to take advantage of what kind of monster it is.
Oh, that's good.
All of your stuff has been like battle tactics and whatnot.
That's not true. I mean, it being cursed is significant.
We can uncurse it. It should be weakened.
Okay, I see.
In the
that
celebration
can
of
be. I
its-
guess that can be both. I was thinking of that as its motivation thing, but
Mm.
yeah, we can say that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Our approach to the motivation is to have this
The festival.
Halloween event.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Halloween also kind of overlaps with something unusual, right? So that it'll make us easier to find who the victim is.
I think most of the things that we've come up with kind of overlap on each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I was like checking solutions off when I got like a definite, okay, this is exactly what is going on. So we're good here. All right. So you invent Halloween in order to deal with this creature.
Yes.
Just like real Halloween.
And so I've got all of your approaches detailed. Witcher, go ahead and draw a total of 3 dominoes.
Okay.
And also, I believe that now that we're starting the showdown, dwarf, don't you have an ability that procs now? I'm pretty sure.
Matan, what do you have?
I have 2 abilities.
Oh.
Yeah.
so-
they're both, like,
I may draw. Where is my mouse? There it is. I may draw 2 dominoes at the start of the showdown.
You need
Seven
them.
might.
So draw, and then I may also create branches off of other branches during the showdown.
Ooh.
So, you invent Halloween.
Step one.
It can manage to convince everybody. Maybe it takes a little bit of bewitchment on the part of the mage to get everyone on board, but you do it to celebrate the ruins, to try to break the curse, basically. The festival draws in, distracts the ravens, and upon hearing a number of them start cawing, the eye appear. A flock of ravens sort of swarms around in a kind of tornado on the outskirts of the festival, which obviously all of you notice. It's hard not to. This
Yeah.
immediately sends people into a panic, and they start scattering. The as the ravens leave, you see I emerge out from the cloud of them as a tall, maybe 9-foot tall humanoid figure with long arms that are like grasping tree branches and a head that is just a deer skull with huge imposing antlers emerging out from it. And I'm going to go ahead and loom over.
Bro. What?
What is this? Oh,
this-
oh, whoa.
Well,
is
how
an
did you-
ancient lesson.
Can
the
you
creature that you are all
zoom in on
facing.
that for our viewers, Merrick?
Hell yeah, I
Oh.
can. But get your hands out of the way while that's
Oh,
happening.
sorry.
I want to make it bigger.
All right,
your
I can do
hand.
that.
Amazing.
So, the thing that you are incorrect about is that I am not a cursed creature. I am a relic creature.
Oh,
I am
Oh,
serving
damn.
a curse.
You are
Like,
what, a curse?
I'm serving a curse. Like, my
Serving a curse.
motivation for coming here was indeed due to
To
the curse
fulfill.
on the land, but
Right.
I am not cursed. So, easy
Damn.
mistake to make. But yeah. Nonetheless, 3 out of 4 ain't bad because all
Not
of
bad
that
at all.
does cook off exactly as you anticipated.
Yeah.
And so, showdown round. So here's how this works. First of all, the showdown round ends when somebody plays the double 12, and that kills me. So when you get the draw, if you draw the double 12, which I've shuffled into the bag, be sure to
Mhm.
reveal it so people know that you have the end game available. During this round, no more dominoes can be played onto the trail. The trail is now closed. You may only play branches, or you can't play anything. And then monster
Oh,
turn.
shit.
So the branches are like these things. I don't know. Can you see what I'm
Branches are off of intersections,
Okay.
or off of technically, I forgot to mention this earlier, but anything off of a double counts as a branch.
Okay.
got it.
Can we
Um,
create a branch?
Yeah.
You can create new branches still,
Okay.
And then
Alright.
but you cannot add to the trail. So
Right.
and then right. Okay.
uh,
So could we play, so does this one that is this 9-2 over here, is that
Mhm.
should that not be there?
no, that should be there. That's still a so off left and right off a double is a branch. Otherwise,
Gotcha.
it's a trail.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
this two, so you can
So
create
could
a
I-
branch off of the 2, I guess maybe. I don't know. It's unlikely to happen.
Could I put something here after the 3, since this is a branch?
That's trail.
That is trail, yeah.
Everything
Trail.
everything here right now, everything on the board is trail.
Oh, okay, so I could put something here at the 7 though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
intersection or off of a
Okay.
double, you are still good.
or off of it.
Okay.
well-
And the only question in my head right now is: are dominoes 1 for 1? We play 1, we draw 1.
No. So now you still draw 2 when you complete a branch. And when you complete and branch creation is the same rules as before. It has to end on a 6. It has to be at least 2. Actually, fun fact: the lesson. So every monster has one of 4 special abilities that I choose in secret at the start, and mine is now revealed. I am slippery on account of my ability to bewitch and teleport, which means that in branches during the showdown must be at least 3 dominoes long.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
shit.
you.
And end in a 6 or higher, When you complete a branch, you get to draw 2 dominoes, and you get to pick one of the stakes that you have created, or that is next that you have that you share with somebody else. That stake is now safe, basically.
When you complete a branch.
Yes. Every time you complete a branch, you choose a stake that, once we move to the epilogue, is definitely safe. When we move to the epilogue after I'm dead, any stake that wasn't saved by having a branch completed, you were too late. Something happened to it.
No.
Oh shit,
So-
you guys.
So hold
This is
on.
what I meant when I said that, the more stakes you have, the better you're going to be able to do, but the more likely it is that at least some of them aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
So what if I don't save the Brevin stake, but Brevin still survives?
That's
Our
fine.
relationship
That
is
just
It
means
just
that
means,
Okay.
something bad happened to him.
Oh,
or like you're not
Fuck.
protecting him anymore.
Yeah.
I
Like, it's not your job
mistake.
anymore.
God, I thought that was cool. And
Yeah.
A mistake.
Very big mistake.
So also you cannot play onto other people's branches.
Right, like
oh no,
before.
wait, actually I think maybe you can now. But if you, I'll look that up. Anyways,
I have one full branch to make, and I think that's it.
well, you're gonna remember when you finish a branch, you draw more dominoes.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still
So-
terrified. So
Same.
There is that as well.
I don't even think I have
plenty.
one.
Okay, yeah. So wait, actually, yeah. Here's the thing. During the showdown, you may play dominoes onto a branch cooperatively. Both
Oh,
placing
shit,
your
thank
tokens
God.
on the
Okay,
branch together.
cool. That might
There's a caveat to that. If you leave a branch before it is finished, I get to hit you
No.
because you're abandoning a line of it. You're basically abandoning a line of attack, even if
No,
you
no,
need to
no.
help someone else with it. If it hasn't been finished yet,
let's
then,
not do that.
yeah.
How'd you get this little monster in here? In
Tabletop Simulator has a lot of assets just lying around in it, you can get off
Wow.
of the Steam Community Workshop. So I just put Leshen into the search
Wow,
bar.
nice.
And over in that bag, there's a bunch of Witcher monsters that I found on it as well, actually.
Cool.
So Tabletop Simulator, good investment. We're not sponsored, by the way.
Not yet.
We might be tabletop. We'll do more shit on your
Hey.
game. Come on.
Hey, all right.
I would like
So-
everyone to see my drawing of it.
Of the lesson?
Oh, cool.
Holy shit,
wow,
Caitlin!
hey.
That was good for
Slippery.
whipping that
I
up.
just did that in 5 minutes. I
Excellent.
started it before you put it on the board, by the way. And then I
Oh,
thought I was
wow.
like, oh, I have something to draw based on that. But I'm proud of how close it was when I
Mhm.
started it, then you added it.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Your
All right,
description
so
was very good.
Ravens are going nuts. People are screaming. Everything is mostly according to plan, except that. So that's the thing. As far as all of you know, this is actually just a cursed monster, and this is all yeah, we nailed it. It's only the Witcher who sees this and is like, wait a minute, what?
Which, as soon as I see the horns and stuff, I kind of look up. I'm like, ah, shit, I was right the first time.
yeah, yeah, you were.
That's what you got
But
for not completing
That's the whole
school.
point of why I I say clues ambiguously to trip you up. Anyways,
Stay in
dwarf.
school, children. Stay in school.
fine.
Do
We
not
don't need
fuck
to
up
do
like the
more.
Switcher did.
Our big muscles are gonna get rid of him anyways. We're
The dwarf is up. It is your turn.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna fucking.
Plodding ominously.
I'm gonna pop him with my Glock.
Uh-huh.
Your cock?
With my cock, I'm gonna fuck this monster. I'm gonna-
All right.
and then I'll move my little dude on there. Yeah.
Yep, correct.
Okay. And then what else?
Describe how you're trying to attack
So
him.
okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess I don't want to attack before he's uncursed, because I still think that's a thing. So,
So what are you doing to
like,
help
I'll-
yourself?
I guess I'm
ready
gonna try to
attack.
flank it. I guess that's what I'll do. Is I'll try to go.
Okay, you're
around
just
it.
circling.
Yeah.
You
Get
got
to the
axe
other
ready.
side.
Okay.
Optimal positioning.
Yeah. Fun fact: since this is off of a double, doubles count as the part of the branch that they are a part of. So you are actually
I already got two.
which may actually change your play. I should have mentioned that before. So
it counts as.
this is too long. This is
Damn.
two
Okay.
dominoes long currently. So you only need
If
one more.
someone
to
just
finish
played
it.
the 11, we would be done with it.
Yeah. Well, as long as it ends in a 6 or higher, still.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is still part of it.
Cool. All right. Well, I don't think that changes my play.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Thank you.
All right. To the Witcher.
Witcher.
Shit, I thought I had a play, but I don't.
Do you have literally nothing you can do?
I'm looking around.
Do you have a 0?
I think this might work, but I might not finish the whole thing.
Oh, well, hopefully we can help.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where the chivalry powers can start potentially coming into more benefit as well, because you can know what the knight has.
Yeah.
I know what I want to do. And I think I can actually finish this. If I can get over this lesson from my point.
Oh yeah. Let me
Ah!
Oh no, he's stolen it.
He's a slippery guy, you're right.
Yeah.
There. No one can go since we can't add to the trail, nothing can go over here, so I'll just put it. All right.
And that's me literally like I see him, I say, shit, I was right the first time, and I run at it.
Okay. Cool. Mage.
Upon hearing that, oh shit. Well, I'll decurse the ruins, not the monster then. Just kill it, please.
Yeah.
And I'll start trying to finish up the ritual we had started with the townsfolk.
Okay.
I know it's a double, but it's a branch. I don't know if I need to
that's
put it
fine.
different. Okay, so I'll put that there, and I will put myself there as well.
Okay.
Wait, does my double count as 2?
No. Only on
okay.
trails would it count as another thing. Although actually,
Gotcha.
except I guess technically, since the dwarf can make branches off branches, for the dwarf it will.
Yes.
If the dwarf
okay.
starts a branch off of that, then it will count as 2 for them.
Got
Off
it.
of which one?
The
The one I
double
just
that Adri just played.
Oops, sorry,
It's a
just on my
6.
mic. Okay, thank you.
It's a 6.
That's a weird little rules interaction that I had.
Can finish my trail, so it is okay.
Yeah. All right. Caitlin.
Okay, so if I were to finish the dwarves trail for him, would we both get to draw more? And
Only you would,
only
because you're the
me?
one finishing it.
Ooh.
Mm.
He would be free to move safely off of that branch without getting hit, but because it's done.
Okay.
You might ask him if he has other things he can do, or if he had his heart set on those 2 dominoes.
That might be my only play.
Yeah, and you guys have the same number of dominoes, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference.
That's okay. If that's your only play, that's fine.
Would you like to see what I have so you can see future?
Oh, good call. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You
They're
also have
sleeping
another,
together, so they have more information shared.
They're just naturally in each other's rhythm.
Yes.
They're telepathic.
And the knight does have another power that might come up during this phase.
Yes.
Effect on that.
What's your other power, Caitlin?
You should save it for a surprise in case it happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
It'll be
I know.
dramatic.
me too, though. I'm excited for my other one.
Mhm.
I want it to happen.
I'm just writing them down. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
What is this metagaming? How dare you?
Well,
I'm kidding. It's whatever.
Our memories are only so good.
I'll also take this time to refresh everyone's memory that remember it ends when someone plays the double 12. So
I
you
do
can,
not have a double 12.
that does kill me whenever that happens. And you
We
reveal
just
the
have
double
to-
12 when someone draws it.
We just have to keep drawing. It could be potentially 37 dominoes away.
Hell yeah, it could.
Absolutely the fuck
Complete those
not.
branches, friends.
No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Oh, did I just drop them?
Oh, honey.
I accidentally left clicked too.
Oh, are they
You
in
should-
there? Okay. Hold on.
I can't get them.
It's on
Yeah,
can
no,
get them.
that's why I told you not to drop them. Here you
Yep, sorry.
go.
Thank you.
I can get them, but
Don't look at them.
I'm the monster. I can get them.
all right.
Here.
Monster just picks up your
Did
sword
you
for
get
you and gives it back to you.
Did you
You dropped this.
Okay, wait. How do I get them back in my hands?
Just
I
drop
should
them.
be
There you
there.
go. You're there. No,
Were they there? They're
Yeah,
not.
they're there, Caitlin.
Why are they upside down?
you
It
can rotate them.
happens.
Oh, how do I rotate them?
Flip them rather.
Click F.
Okay, hold on. I still have all highlighted. Okay. Look. There we go. Matan, did you get all of them?
Did I all of the ones that you had?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. I shall make my play. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna notice Brevin has gone off to flank, but it is not the monster that we thought it was, so I'm going to run over to Brevin and inform him that it is not the monster the Witcher told us, and the Witcher has failed us.
Wait, that wouldn't finish that branch.
And
FYI.
She's not done.
What?
Oh.
It doesn't end in a 6 or higher.
oh wait, that doesn't. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But it would be the third domino. But which
Yeah,
you can go longer, but if he was going to finish it off.
I keep counting the one that I'm placing down, and it keeps messing me up. That's what I did last time
No,
too. That's
yeah,
why
it's
I
the
thought
open one
yeah,
that is.
It's the open one. I keep doing that. Okay, well.
You can always help someone else if you'd like, or start a new branch.
Yeah. Cool. I think I'll just start a branch over here. The problem is
Yeah.
I can't finish any path, so you guys are gonna have to save me if I do this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could just add to the one that you were about to do. It doesn't.
If you
it's
add
not
to that,
failure.
it doesn't open something for him to finish it with, then she just screwed both of them over, though.
Yeah. It's
It's
okay,
His turn
Caitlin.
is
Start
next.
start a branch, and we'll do our best.
Yeah.
So hopefully, well, am I allowed to ask what people have?
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Cool. Then I will just
Gotta
do
slam
this.
it down somewhere.
We will do our best.
Yeah. There you go. Put your token on that. And next round's going to be exciting for you.
Yeah.
I guess.
What is happening? Okay, let me get.
Unfortunate, because this round we all have to finish ours, right, Merrick, before we can help her?
Well, you don't have to, but if you abandon a branch that has been uncompleted, then
Yeah.
I attack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Don't
it
want
released him from that one that I messed up earlier. If I had done that one correct, I'd have so many more plays because I could have finished it. And
yep, you would have drawn 2 dominoes, etc., etc.
Yep.
Such is
the
Yep.
game.
games. All
The
right,
game of life.
to the dwarf, circling me, getting ready. What's going on?
Finish him.
I'm going to chuck this bad boy right over here.
That's not
That-
a 6 or higher.
Oh, you're right. I grabbed the wrong one. Thank
That
you.
bad boy.
This bad boy.
All right. And that finishes that branch. So you draw 2 dominoes. You land your attack. So describe whatever it is that you do.
So I've got him flanked. So as he's looking at the Witcher, I come behind him and do a jumping slash with my axe, and I bury it in his back.
All right.
He has a really pretty back, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moss and
It
like,
is surprisingly.
nature.
It's not like it's like cutting into a tree. So you do damage,
thing I have
but
an
it's
axe,
not
right?
as much as if it had been, flesh or something.
Okay.
And shudder and clearly wounded, and then start slowly turning. As if relatively unperturbed. So yeah, draw your 2 dominoes and choose a stake that you have. So go on to the left and get yourself the little draw tool and draw a circle around one of your stakes that you want guaranteed safe at the end of
Oh, I
this.
love that.
I want
Yeah.
guaranteed safe. I think I'm going to secure. Sorry, for the draw tool. There it is. Oh no, a circle. I think I'm gonna do a good story.
All right.
I think that's pretty important.
Oh, you can do it if you want to just free form it, you can. It doesn't have to be.
Is that okay? Can I,
Yeah, that's totally fine. However you want to do it, just as long as there's a shape around it, so that we
Okay.
know it's safe.
So it's denoted.
Yeah. Cool.
Hot.
You're getting out of here with a good story to tell.
Unless you die.
Well, someone is getting out of here with a good story.
Right.
I will tell his
all right.
story, even if he dies.
Witcher.
Yeah. I
You
see
drew
the
your two.
blow on the that the dwarf has hit on this relic, and I'm gonna take advantage and get even closer in, try and get into a blind spot.
Okay. So you're charging forward. You're positioning yourself, getting ready for that next damaging blow.
Yes.
Excellent. Mage.
I run over to the circle and continue, not the circle, the statue, and continue to draw my magical circle and put in ingredients and brew up the curse breaking from the ruins.
All right.
I cannot place this. I will, though.
There you go. Proceeds. All right, Kaylin, it is your turn to place a domino.
So the only
Rest in
thing I
peace,
can
my
do is
love.
get damaged because I can't.
Yep. All right. So the monster, seeing all of you are sensing the dwarf just attacked. The knight started charging in to help the dwarf, and even though as I'm turning to face the dwarf, I send one of my long claws, and my arm actually extends out to take a swipe at the knight with my giant tree-like claw hand, slashing across her face, unless...
Your ability, Caitlin.
Oh yeah.
Because I am now... So when you
first
can't play a
strike.
domino, or under certain other circumstances, the monster strikes you, which is I discard 2 dominoes from your hand at random.
Yeah.
And then you draw dominoes or you reveal dominoes at random from the bag until you find one you can play, and then you play that.
Gotcha.
And the rest go back.
Okay,
But
so,
when the
so
knight,
I can prevent the first strike during the showdown.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Do it.
the shield just goes up, and I clang off of it. And since I wasn't looking because I was throwing at the dwarf, as the lesson sort of, that's not the sound of somebody being rent asunder. What's going on back there? So yeah, you are safe and now people have a whole, or at least the dwarf can be.
Just one person can help
Just
her.
one person.
Yeah.
So with that, dwarf.
It's riding on you, Brevin. Go save your girlfriend.
Okay. Which one are you, Caitlin, again? Which color?
Pink.
You
Okay.
need a 5.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna hit it with the bam.
Don't hit her. That's the opposite of what she needs.
Oh wait. Don't hit her. Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. There.
Cool. And you move yourself
Yeah.
there.
I'm
I
gonna
don't say this often, but my hero.
Aw.
Wait, how'd you get upside down?
F.
Whoa.
Hey.
I think if they're small enough, they actually fit in the pips of the the dominoes.
really.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
All right. So that branch is at least continued. Maybe Caitlin can play something off of there. We'll see.
Shall see.
Witcher.
So I'm seeing everything that's happening in this fight, and I'm gonna go in for a slash, and I'm gonna try and disarm it partly.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah. So
Nice.
since its arms are kind of tree branches, it's difficult to cut through in a single swoop. But you do enough that now that my seeing that opportunity, you make a cut, and the extended arm is now it's broken basically.
Nice.
So it's sort of it's dangling more at my side. And I let out I make the motion as if I would be roaring in some capacity, like tilting head back and everything. no sound emerges.
Cool. That's
but
even cooler.
The
Yeah, that's
ravens
spooky.
go insane.
Whoa! Oh no!
Um,
And with that, I'm going to lock in my favor ode to me, or
yeah.
whoever may be alive
Mhm.
at the end of this.
This town's gonna owe you big time.
Oh yes.
All right.
All right. I shall also finish what I have started.
Oh yeah, and draw your 2 dominoes.
I
as
did.
well.
Thank you.
And you'll see as I wipe away a trickle of blood and the statue explodes violently, maybe even hitting some of you, and you see a quick, sudden flash of light from the ruins, and you gather the curse has been broken.
Nice.
So the ravens are have been in the midst of going crazy, and as soon as that happens, they all go dead silent again. And also sort of like, and then they look at each other and they sort of like freak out again, but it's not as much in unison. It's like a general cacophony. A bunch of them just start flying away.
A cacophony?
A cacophony. Caca.
Yeah.
This shit's wild. Caca.
Who are these people?
I'm out of here.
And I've secured my fame and glory.
Yeah. All right.
I've secured.
Cool. Next up we have Caitlin.
All right. With Brevin coming in and helping, I'm going to slash
All right.
and slash this guy.
All
Slash
right.
and slash.
So since that doesn't end in a 6 or higher, it doesn't
I
complete.
keep forgetting that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
play
well,
it.
It's
just
all I can play anyways. So
Send the branch like higher, basically. It's just
yeah,
not
that's
an
my
efficient
only.
use of domino edge.
You're
But it's
keeping up
better
our
than me
combo.
hitting you.
Yeah.
It is better than getting hit. So.
Yeah.
It is.
Um.
Brevin, I
So
hope you can.
yeah, your sword swing. You're kind of like panicking a little bit, maybe, and I'm able to raise my other giant tree arm and kind of bat away your assault for now. Dwarf. Hope you have something that you can play off a 0.
Yeah.
That I do.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wombo combo, baby. Let's go.
Mhm.
That ain't Falco.
The Dwelf.
All
They
right.
work together.
So I 360 no scope him off of the top of Rust, and so what do I? So I guess he goes to raise his arm against her attacks, and I slide underneath and slash him from below.
Going down to start trying to actually like chop him down like a tree.
Yes.
Fella. All right. Again, there's you hear like a loud groaning noise, like a tree about to be like
Fall,
timbered.
yeah. Cool.
So yeah, draw your 2 dominoes and circle another stake.
All right.
Remember, if someone finds the double 12, to reveal it.
I
might advise that you make sure that you can play the double 12 once somebody locates it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be thinking about that.
I am going to secure my payday.
Hey.
I was wondering if you were going to get to the end without how long does it take before someone decides materialism is what matters here.
And that's what my favorite ode is.
It was 2. It was 2 in.
I have a question, Eric.
Yeah.
Could I place a domino at the edge of this 5 here, even though there's nothing next to it?
Yeah, you can go left off.
Yeah, left and right, make a branch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm excited at this prospect of going to go and answer my door in my costume. My doorbell
Nice.
just rang.
Well, it is. Okay. Dang, it's your turn exactly now.
And I'm gonna take my turn.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see this opportunity arise, and having heard it once, I now know how to better approach my with my attacks, and I'm going to prepare myself to start breaking at this monster as opposed to slashing at it.
And by breaking, you of course mean break dancing.
I do start to dance.
Yeah.
Or rather, the Witcher's dodges seem so like elegant and graceful.
Right.
It's almost like a dance.
He's been
It
trained
really
in the
is.
sword.
This is
Yeah.
very like end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. It's like dance off. You and
Dance
me.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
I am gonna go answer the door. I will be right back.
All right.
Yeah, take your time.
You got a whole
So-
round. To the mage.
The mage, the wall. I'm not
So
gonna
the
say
sword
something.
trips.
Yeah. I'm gonna bounce off this 5 here. I'm going to start summoning something, you can't really tell, as I cast magic and make words you don't understand. It's running around avoiding the melee, but casting nonetheless.
All right.
Battle Mage. It's my favorite class in Skyrim.
We don't like Skyrim here, so.
Caitlin, you are now free to start making a new branch somewhere else, if you can.
Except I have no good play.
Yeah, I was about to say, you didn't actually get any new dominoes.
Yeah,
this one,
I
so-
really wish I had known earlier how this is gonna go because I would not have done a lot of plays that I did earlier.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Ooh.
sitting over there with
Yeah.
3 dominoes, huh?
And no matter what I do, someone's gonna have to come save me, and it's not really possible.
The
I
ideal
have no
situation is that no one finishes it for you and you have to finish it yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
and
I
Caitlin, what I would say is, it's okay for me to come save you because right now you and I are both on one that just finished, so I'm not going to lose out if I go join you wherever you are.
You might want to share dominoes so that he can suggest.
So that's what I was about to say, Merrick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is
Okay.
Can I say, hey, you should play that one because I can see hers?
I will allow it just because mechanically you do know what
she has.
what is in her
Okay.
hand.
So
Let
it's
me
like
You still can't
go
say
left.
what you have, but
He knows what he has, so.
yeah, but she can't
Yeah.
know what he has.
Yeah, but
Okay. We got to start a new one.
Wow, this tactic looks very good.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can start branches from other branches, but she cannot.
Yep.
But I think
No
I
one
can
else can.
play. I think I can play any of these. Basically.
Yeah.
which one would be best
Well,
for
then,
Matan?
where? Sorry, pull it over a little bit more to the left. I can't.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I'm
There
sorry.
you
Would
go.
be best for him and also for her to be able to get the.
So
You have to do some really hard thinking, Matan, here.
Yeah.
that middle bottom one I can play off of.
But if you play off it, will the number on the other side be something
Yes.
Caitlin can play off of?
Will I be able to finish?
No,
something? Middle-
no, you're right.
Hmm.
Then so I can play off of. Let me see. Can you play off of that?
Hey, while
No,
they're
you
thinking
can't.
about this,
I
I
don't
have a
think-
question.
Yeah.
The double 12, does it
Mhm.
have to be at the end of 3, or is it just play it and we win?
If it's played, when it's played, I die.
Okay.
Do you have
As
it?
soon as it hits it
No.
has to be played legally, so it has to be on a
So
branch because no one can play to the trail. But
Kaylin, I can play off of yours, but I cannot play anything that then you can play off of.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to take the loss here.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I wish I had known how this game worked earlier.
Okay.
We're all learning here.
Wait, are you playing something?
Matan needs to let me know. Which one.
I was gonna say you can play put them back there just so I can describe them as left, middle,
Or
right.
Caitlin, you could take the L this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, if you have a domino you can play, you have to, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
So I would say you can play. I can't see where necessarily you'd play them, so I can't tell which side you're playing.
What do you mean?
Where you said you can play all of them?
I don't know if I could play all. I forgot how this works. Okay, I can't even see them now.
Oh man, did you just drop them off the table?
I hate this so much.
They're just hanging out there. Okay,
don't
well,
know.
I would say play the one that. God, this is
Where?
anarchy. Is where my finger is over here. Is this a branch or a trail?
This is trail.
This
That's
is
true.
trail. So you could
play that one.
play, Caitlin. You could play right here, and I
Yeah,
could play
let's-
off of that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that one.
Beautiful. Wonderful attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How are you fighting?
I don't fucking know.
Call it a bad word.
Yeah.
Mental
I-
damage.
Insult it. Vicious
I-
mockery.
I insult it.
Okay. Calling it out.
Your girlfriend looked like my mom.
Yeah. All right. And then off of that is the dwarf's turn. How does the dwarf follow up the insult?
I follow up the insults.
Well, yeah, the problem is now I can't actually get any more tokens, so maybe that's not a good move.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet. I mean, but
No, but
But-
now I don't have any that are above 6.
Yeah.
okay. Then do you want to play something else?
Yeah,
Then
we'll
it's
play
okay. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Wow. You just have a bunch of low ones?
Yeah, I have really bad dominoes.
Well, even if you take a strike, you don't like die. So
You
it's
die
not
when you get
painful.
reduced to 0.
So what
I
is?
don't know what that means.
Yeah,
When you
So
have
every
no
time
more dominoes.
every time I attack you,
you lose
Um,
2.
So yeah,
You-
I'm gonna die.
No.
Let Merrick
is
read
the
the rules.
opposite side of these double ones that I'm at like open? Or is this like
Alternatively, Caitlin, you could help Josh do something. I don't know what numbers you have.
No, I
So-
don't think I can. What is Josh's there? It's a 6, right? Or
No.
no, not a 6. I don't have
But-
that. No.
yeah.
Like I said, I
It's a
can't do anything.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, you can play your 1. We can keep you from. Oh, but if you play, but then next time.
When she
Yeah.
gets
Okay.
striked, Merrick, does she draw more cards? Or
only if
die?
it doesn't reduce her to 0.
So you can take the L now, Caitlin.
But
No,
then-
if you
No, I
if you can
can't.
play a domino, you still
Oh, you
have.
have to.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
You can't
Going
choose
to die.
to get mulligans, basically.
Right.
Oh well, okay. I'm just gonna play this.
Yeah. Your best bet may be just to survive as long as you can.
yeah?
see if we can.
Yeah, if I had known this was how it was gonna go, I would not have played this boy over here.
So it goes.
And then I
Oh.
wouldn't have played that other one. So I just wish we had known a little more
Yeah.
how. the
I
game-
did link the rules in the thing 2 weeks ago.
I did read them. I read
Oh, well.
rules.
All right.
But yeah.
I did
Who's
read
up?
all the way through the rules, so
Okay.
I would like to point that out.
So dwarf, you're up. Are you gonna come to the knight's aid, or are we
Well,
abandoned?
I don't have anything for that. So I think I can create branches from branches. Is this here is trail?
Branch.
This is a branch.
This is a branch. So if and it's finished. So but I could do
Could you have done something off of my other one?
the original one. I could have played one thing on, but then
Okay. Couldn't have done any off of the other one.
the other one. Which one are you talking about?
Caitlin,
The one over by my good story. That one I could have played one thing on
why don't you do that? Because I can abandon my trail, or Josh can too.
and not die. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
because if you can play something off of my other one,
That's why I recommended that one. Is I can
No.
play something
no,
there.
this one. If I do this.
Oh, that one I can play off of as well.
Okay, let's do that then. That's what I meant.
All right,
All right.
I'm gonna do
Either Josh or I will have to take the L, depending on what Matan plays. But
Yeah. Or you could. I mean. Well, if the idea is to make it so that Caitlin can play something.
right, but we don't know what numbers she has.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you do now. I've played all 3 of my tiles.
I
I
was
wasn't
not
really paying
paying
attention.
that close
Yeah.
of attention.
Yeah.
I was letting
I-
you make your turn.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll throw that because I want to get out the lower numbers now before because I don't want to end on that. So I'm gonna play
Mhm.
that.
Okay.
Move
Move
your
your
dude.
token over to there.
Let me-
And Caitlin, you can't play off
Rushing.
of what Matan just put, right?
I cannot play. I can't play off of any.
Yeah. I don't have anything that she could then respond to.
Right.
That's all right. Whose turn?
So now it is the Witcher's turn.
Hmm.
Josh, I
Unfortunately,
can take the L if you can't.
I can't go help them. I don't have a way to.
Okay.
So I see the eternal struggle between the newlyweds, and I continue with my own attack.
All right.
I yell over to them. Just watch out for the horns also.
All right, and as it comes to my turn, I notice the grave peril that my friend is being put in, and I just yell, "Useless fucking witcher! God damn it!" And I will. I mean, I think I have to finish it. I don't have another 4.
Yeah.
So I will abandon my trail, and finish this one.
Does that actually help? I guess
No.
it does.
Prolongs her death.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
going to die.
That is
It
true.
prolongs her death, so I will do that.
All right. So you get struck, but you will finish that one, so you'll get 2 back. So I am going to do this.
Yep.
And then this. And then I'm going to take this one and this one.
Cool. And I will draw 2 more.
Yep.
And you took both of the 12s. Fuck me.
Neato.
That was a
The risk you
good.
took.
Yeah.
And now I have the double fucking 12. I could have
you
ended this, but
actually?
Caitlin would have died. Yes, I
I
do.
mean, I can survive one more round, but
So wait, so you
Well,
had
there's
to-
no 12 on the board that I can play it off of, is the thing.
can't you?
wait.
I cannot create a branch off a branch.
Yeah, only the
There's
dwarf
no
can do
12.
But this
I-
one, I thought this one over here was. I didn't think this was a branch. I thought this was part of the.
Those are not
original-
12s.
Oh, those aren't 12.
No, the 12s are these 4.
Oh.
Big
Josh
red.
walked up.
Fucking hell.
Big
the
red lads.
trail that I was gonna
I-
do would have ended in a 12, which would have been perfect. But
But
Now
that.
you're
Oh, wait.
alive.
You know what
If-
you can do, though, actually? You can play dominoes to a finished branch, technically.
Oh, okay, so
Oh,
that's
It
what I was
doesn't
wondering.
do anything.
But except in this case, we're playing the
Except in
end
this
the
case
game.
where it will end the game. But yeah.
So
Is
so
there-
if one of us was to finish a branch with the 12 at the end, she could play the 12 on that.
Correct.
So basically, our goal right now is to get a 12 out.
Yep.
before Caitlin dies in 2 turns.
Or at
Maybe
all,
less.
really. I mean, I could start killing the rest of you after that, too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I
Well,
have 1 turn left. I can do basically.
Put a 12 at the end of a branch.
Speaking of which,
That's
actually,
it.
that I believe that turn is now.
Is
Also,
my-
wait, how does the mage attack?
Oh, I leap in front of both of them and put up a shield, but in doing so, I take damage instead
Okay.
of them.
Yeah.
While
like-
cursing me.
It doesn't get up quite, you don't get the shield up quite in time to protect yourself, so I managed to graze your arm somewhat.
Oh, it's all right. At least I'm forever beautiful.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from me, monster.
It's true. All right, so now it is Caitlin's turn.
Oh, what's going on?
All right. Boop. Are you attacking from within the shield, or are you still yelling insults?
I'm just adding insults. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's
Everyone is just insulting the Witcher right now.
Yeah.
Isn't this your job?
Stupid monster. Stupid witch. I'm not doing anything.
All right.
Caitlin, can I see your 1 again? Can I see your
Do
one?
I have to do everything my damn self? Removing the curse, killing the monster? My god.
I can't do anything. What is happening? How do I get over here?
Caitlin, can I see
I
it
don't know
though?
what has happened to my. I'm trying.
Oh,
Trust
okay,
me, I'm
okay.
trying. Here. You see that?
No.
I don't
You
know.
went too far, Caitlin.
Oh, there. Wait, bring it back. Okay. No, wait, you went too far again. There. Leave it. Okay. I'm good. Okay.
Anyone have a 12? Matan, can you put a 5 and a 12 at the end of the witch's branch?
I wish.
All right. Well, a girl can hope. She can most certainly hope.
So then, wait. So Caitlin, you just went, right?
Yep. New round.
I could, in
So
theory,
what
play
it-
off of you to help
so-
Caitlin.
There may or may not be.
There
but
may
because you
or may
had
not
but you
be.
had to make a branch, and you can't leave that branch. Now, okay. So I am going to, but then I don't have another turn before her.
Yeah, I'm going to die.
I do, but I don't know what numbers you have, so
Okay.
can't really help you there. You can just hope and pray.
Mhm.
I will make this branch off another branch. And then you guys can start playing on this now. If you
And
feel like
hope
it.
someone has a 12
Yep.
to match it.
Yep.
I mean, either Josh has a 12 or I die.
Yeah, well, no, not
Dun,
quite.
dun, 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 dun.
We can keep prolonging this, don't worry.
No, I die on my next turn.
Unless you have something unless someone plays something to your branch,
And
that
you can
play
finish
off of.
it.
That is the only other way.
Unless something plays
But
something to her branch, which is
what
a
are the
double
odds
one.
of that?
Well, we're going to do our best.
Wait, Adrianna, you still have the dice, right?
I do, yes.
Hmm.
Now-
Indeed.
You could play to Caitlin's thing and hope that she can
I
play on
will
it.
do my best.
What happens-
Yes,
what happens-
indeed.
What
It's
happens
the
if you-
Witcher's turn first, though.
Okay.
So
I kind of like take a moment. I'm like, mages, and I yell out to you, just keep an eye out on this. And I run up to the what is this called? Leshen. I run up to the
Mhm.
Leshen, and I climb
you.
up the back. Thank you. And I just say, watch for the puncture wound.
mm.
And I go up and I use my silvered sword to go right through the
Oh.
belly of the beast, creating a perfect opening for a magical attack.
Mm.
I only have so many eyes, and I drop the shield and run forward, and I will end this damned game. Where did my
Witcher,
go?
pick a
Ah,
stake to secure.
Oh, I will keep my only other one, which is the safety of an innocent, which is,
Oh, I forgot to do one
Who
of
do you
my
think?
six.
Yeah.
but Aurella Hyland herself.
Thank you. Because I've become an innocent and can't do absolutely fucking
Duh.
As far as I'm concerned, you're an innocent.
All right. Yeah, the silver sword cuts through the barky flesh. Surprisingly, it seems almost better than the axe. Weirdly,
Mhm.
magic is wild like that. And then I guess, yeah. How? What is this finishing blow?
It's just one. What looks, you can barely even see it. It's just a small puff of fire that begins to consume it from the inside, and you watch as eventually it burns the entire tree up, and it is no longer.
It's just like the Leshen stops moving, like just freezing mid attack, slightly like a fair bit earlier than when the flames engulf it completely. Like it's killed, but the body like still has a lot to burn, basically. So it just sort of stands there, smoking.
Mm.
Well, now I
created
suppose we can
Halloween
add
and Burning Man.
Yeah.
bonfires for our
Well-
special holiday.
Done, everybody. So now we move to the final epilogue phase.
You
So-
made it.
Yeah, everyone survived, so that's pretty cool. That
was
doesn't
damn
always
close.
happen, obviously. So now what's going to happen is, starting with the first surviving hunter to the monster's left and proceeding clockwise, each surviving hunter takes turns returning an unused domino one at a time to the void. So you'll do one and then so on like that. As you return one of them, you describe a brief scene in this, a brief epilogue scene, basically. If both of the sides of the dominoes are 7 or higher, then it is some kind of maybe inspiring scene or a moment of serenity or something kind of uplifting for your character. If both numbers are 6 or below, it's a misfortune or something that your character is going to have to struggle with in the future after this battle. And if it's mixed, then the scene is a mixed bag, basically. It's something that's kind of open-ended. But Also, before that happens, though, all of the stakes that have not been circled,
No.
you weren't in time for. So,
Sorry,
let's go
Brendan.
through and see what we got here. So, you two care what each other thinks, and both of you are relatively unimpressed with each other's performance in the fight, and you've lost respect for each other, basically.
Oh.
Does it have to wait? Does it? I may not have been understanding this right. Does it have to be negative? The consequence?
Yeah, I mean, we lose that
If
thing.
any stake that is gone is gone, it's like this stake
So
no longer exists.
I lose her respect.
Anymore. It was
Damn.
lost. You
Okay.
weren't in time to save
Then
it.
I would have changed one of my circles. Let me
Okay,
do
sure.
that.
Preventing evil. Let's see. So, even though you prevented it in sort of the short term, you're going
I didn't mean to do that. Rewind. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry. Rewind.
All of you are going to
erasing a circle,
notice
sorry.
that the townsfolk are now like way wild. They're very riled up, and you get this vibe that they're the sort of authority figures that do remain in the town. The elders gone, but like the members of the church, maybe the head of the fishermen's guild, are going to use this whole debacle as an opportunity to be like, see, we are the ones who ought to have been in charge. Guess what? One of the new things we're going to do for in charge is an anti-monster tax. So the slaying of the monster has created an opportunity for human evil, essentially.
Ooh, I like it.
Rearing in.
Versus.
What does this one say?
Reputation,
Glorious reputation. Unfortunately, no one in the village ever got your name.
Oh.
Although people will speak of a very brave and valiant knight that fought alongside the other monster hunters, no one remembers who that was or where they were from. So, whenever you're like, hey, it was me, everyone's just like, you and 12 other knights. Sure it was. During the final, after the monster got lit and everybody was sort of like, we've done it. We like did the thing. A spark caught loose in some particularly dry flesh of the Leshen and just sort of like exploded in a bunch of splintery shrapnel that struck across Brevin's face, leaving him with, it's not a horribly disfiguring scar, but especially because you've got like the beard. But if you were to ever lose a significant amount of your facial hair, people would be like, whoa, this guy's something fucked up.
Jeez.
Maybe it doesn't, on one of the sideburns, like doesn't grow quite correctly.
Oh, man.
You did this to him.
The eternal
You had to
fire.
save her a lot.
This is how this game goes. Like, no one makes it out with all their stakes.
No one wins.
The point is that
the Witcher.
the fighting monsters is tough. You do the best you can. The Church of the Eternal Fire is basically like, I mean, good job. Bye, I guess. They do not feel obligated to you particularly. What do we got over here? What's this purple one?
Favor with Temeria, the High Council, or whatever government they have.
Yeah, Temeria. This village was not really super important in the grand scheme of political things. So even though some Temerian official somewhere might have heard that this happened and be like, yeah, that was neat of you to have done, you unfortunately don't have anyone super interested in giving you recompense for this act. No one would have missed this. In fact, maybe at some point when you start explaining it to a clerk somewhere, they're like, I mean, it seems like it was kind of their fault. They like, didn't you just say they built on top of an ancient elven burial ground or something? Like, what?
Just let him die, God.
Local safety, like I said, human evil is now a thing that is afoot a bit. So they are safe from the monster, but not from each other.
Ooh.
Family acts. Due to completely unrelated reasons, later on you're just going to lose this.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
were
set
kind
it
of
down.
careless or worn out from the fight in some capacity. Whatever happens, you end up forgetting the family acts, like maybe in after celebratory revelry.
You picked a good story over family acts.
He's got more axes. It's fine.
Yikes.
So yeah, so that is the situation.
But the blue ones.
The blue ones were all saved. you can't
they're
tell because you marked it
underlined.
weird, but
Right, sorry.
they were secured. The Witcher
Cool.
got everything he wanted out of this.
Yeah.
He didn't want
All
very
right.
much.
Are we ready to
That's
start
the
discarding?
secret. And so now it is your turn, all of yours turn to narrate. So yeah, one at a time, each of you will return one domino to the void. If both sides are 7 or higher, it's a positive scene. If both are lower, it's something that you're gonna have to struggle with going forward after this. And if it's mixed, then it's some kind of ambiguous what the scene means for your character.
All right. Whose goes first?
You do.
You've been going, yeah.
So this is a mixed one.
Mhm.
So I guess Brevin is, happy he got his payday, and it's a damn good story, but he's disappointed that things didn't go well with Arella. I don't know. It's not like he's sad. He's sad that things weren't different. It's not like he got dumped and he still is pining over her. It's just that he thought it could have been something and it wasn't.
Okay. Witcher.
Well, I think this has been a bittersweet day for old Killian the Witcher. Just realized maybe I do need to go back and relearn some of the things from the old days. I think I'm gonna have to brush up on these skills for the foreseeable future. And he's not very happy about this, but we'll go ahead and try and relive that past of his.
Giving yourself a solid C minus
Yeah.
on your performance. In this
Yeah,
fight,
exactly.
basically.
Gonna bump
Okay.
that 1.2 to a 2.3.
Yeah.
On Igna's way out of town, she'll realize that there was indeed a reason she took a carriage, and that is that this place is in the middle of goddamn nowhere and too far for her to teleport. So she is, unfortunately, stuck with the party for just a little bit longer in order to get out, and it's rather concerning.
All right.
That's my negative token.
Arella is
Damn burn.
quite disappointed with
I
her
wish someone-
performance. I'm struggling with how to make this positive. Arella she had a bad day. It was very off. She was very love struck with Brevin, and it just took her out of the moment, and that's why she does not want anything to do with Brevin anymore. So
Neither do I.
yeah,
Don't
sorry.
you worry, dear.
Yeah, it took her out of it. It distracted her, and she did not like the person she became. So she realizes this about herself, and she heads back home where she is showered with love and glory of all her past defeats, where she has done wonderful things, and she has all the fame and glory there, and everyone loves her, and everyone is coming and in love with her, and she doesn't need Brevin. She forgets about Brevin and never thinks about him again.
The people in her town do believe that she was that knight in that
Yes.
story.
And she tells them all those glorious stories, even if they're a lie.
Yeah.
She tells them. I mean, they're not a lie. She did help take down this monster.
Yeah.
And she tells them all about this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Who just flipped my...
Me.
Don't go handling other
Domino.
people's dominoes.
All right, who's next?
You.
It goes in a circle.
Oh, that's right. Okay, here's another mixed one. So yeah, I think, I got a hearty payday, and I think, I spent a lot, had a nice dinner at, right afterwards, but then I had a tough time finding work after this. I had a tough time, whether it be an absence of monsters or whether it be a lack of reputation. I realized I started to pinch pennies after that because I realized work wasn't coming.
Okay.
Who's next?
I have a bittersweet, half and half here. And I'm going to the disappointing part of this is having to suck up and like again realize like, yeah, I guess I'm not the best I could be, and I'm gonna go up to Mage. Mage.
Oh, you again. What do you want?
Listen, we I think we did a pretty good job back there, and well, if you were serious about this monster hunting thing, I could use some help.
Oh, certainly not. I was just assigned on my first expedition before, returning to court. It's not really my thing, although, I mean, I am very good at it, but mages are for a more superior purpose, have to go help the king and all.
The king, right. Okay. That's it for there.
All right.
Fuck the peasants.
Coming straight from the underground.
Coming straight from the underground.
And with that, is yours next.
Yes, and I have 2 next ones left. So I think after her successful mission, she returns home for a brief staycation. And it's wonderful. Her family is so proud of her. But at the same time, she knows that this won't last forever and she'll have to go back to Aratusa and seek out her next assignment. I can't just be a party girl.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Me, yeah.
Yep.
Another mixed one. My cousin, Yaren, does not let me forget that I lost the family axe.
Mm-hmm.
And I make a new axe, and it's a great axe. But he never lets me forget that I lost.
Yeah, he's like, your other one was pretty good too.
Yeah.
How rude.
Yeah, truly.
The Witcher goes back to Witcher School. I forget the name of the place that Witcher's
Caremorehead.
born.
No, it's Witcher School.
It's
Yeah,
Witcher
Witcher
School.
School.
Witcher goes back to Witcher School, and he
gets a Witcher bachelor's in Witcher communication.
He does his night school.
Clyde Knight's night school, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Clyde Knight's night school. And he does get better at what it is that he does.
Oh, good.
Yes. Igna makes her way back to Aratusa and is assigned the council position she has always wanted as an advisor to one of the many, many rulers. And unfortunately, it is not quite as exciting as she had hoped, and knows this job will last several decades before she gets a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm pleased. This is a positive one. Like, overall, this was a very positive experience. I had fun killing a cool monster. I got paid a lot. I bedded a beautiful night. Like, there are hardships ahead, but I had a great time.
You didn't wedded a beautiful night, though.
Didn't wed, just bed, unfortunately.
Some would argue that that's a positive as well.
Fair point. So I'm satisfied.
Future or our paths will cross again. Maybe one day.
With his newly acquired knowledge and skill, he goes back to the town that he just saved, of Ravenholm, and
Ravenholm is the Elvish name for it. The actual name was like Cragford or something.
Cragford.
Yeah, I think it was Cragford. Goes back to Cragford, and he cashes in on that favor and is going to take advantage of the human evil, and the monster tax is now his. So he now gets paid for anything that's happening that's unusual.
Oh, he's basically like, listen, nerds.
Listen,
If anyone's going to collect a
dweebs.
monster tax, it's me. So
It's
I'm going to
me.
be back every once in a
so
while.
I stroll through that town and I do that. I also have this double good one. It turns out that I'm very good at what I do, and I just every time that I'm fighting a monster, I think back to my my party of dwarf and knight and mage, and I just think, fucking dwarf, fucking knight, fucking mage. Just they don't know what they were talking about. Very like vindictive. And then his final thing is double good, and he goes and finds each and every one of them. And he says, listen, I want a do-over.
Oh,
The party back together.
we're getting the band back together. Okay.
campaign
And-
seed in this one-shot only game. Let's go.
Well, I'm a little busy.
go.
Yeah.
It was a double good. You can't say no.
No, you could.
Yep.
All he can say that he does and he makes the offer and that he's happy with doing that, but it doesn't.
We'll see what
Yes.
happens.
Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for Brevin Zegrin in season 2 of Netflix's The Witcher.
Yeah.
Brevin Segrin will return.
Brevin Zegrin will return.
They're gonna watch this and steal your character. For
No.
Good. You can have it.
All right.
Well,
and that
that was-
concludes Hunt a Witcher story.
Wow.
Well played,
A lot
everybody.
of fun. Yeah.
I was kind of rocky doing a game like with learning shit as we were
Oh, wait,
going, but you all did very well.
Wait, something very important we can't miss.
What's that?
What?
Josh, you had the most at the end.
Mhm.
So I think
yeah.
it is your right to flip the table.
Yes.
It's
Oh
true.
my goodness.
Aw.
Well, I just want to say it's been a pleasure to come and play with you guys. Thank you,
Mhm.
Eric, for being the monster, and
Absolutely.
to everyone else for being such a good sport. And goodbye.
Hey!
I love that
All the art landed over there.
Yep.
I love that all the drawings just say, "Oh, and it all comes toppling down."
Type here.
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We have been streaming a lot on Twitch lately. If you're watching this as it premieres on Twitch, what's up?
Or YouTube.
Where it's also, thank you, Adrianna. We're also putting it
You're
on
welcome.
YouTube. This is some non-audio. It's not.
I mean, you could just listen to it.
You could just listen to it, but we won't be posting this on podcast platforms. We post our podcast every Friday wherever you get podcasts, or on YouTube with a video element. We're trying out a lot of new content. We're trying things. We're doing new stuff. So let us know if you like this and you want to see more, tabletop content. Also, this
And-
is. I'm sorry. Yes,
I was
Mike?
about to say, also, if you did like this one in particular, download link hopefully down there somewhere.
Mhm. You can find
Yes.
a link below to Hunt.
Very
Uh,
fun.
And
check
Merrick's
out,
Patreon. Go
Merrick's
go
Patreon.
give the boys some likes.
Yeah. For my Witcherized version of Patreon. And also, I have a bunch of other fan games as well. So you should check those out in case there's some other series that I made something ridiculous for that you happen to enjoy.
Yeah, wonderful. And you can find that all in the description below, as well as our socials, our Twitch accounts, and I believe. Oh, and also, Merrick, do you want us to link any of your socials? Do you want us to throw anything in there?
I mean, you
Follow,
can
check out.
follow my Twitter, but
You can follow.
There.
Well, you can find that there too. Once again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.